Our news partner is closure since last year due to struggles with finding staff, especially servers. The other Soul Women's locations will remain open in Waukesha and the original on St. Paul Avenue.
With the United States default possible as early as the 1st of next month, President Joe Biden has invited the 4 congressional leaders to the White House on May 9th. The White House saying he's willing to hold separate talks on spending cuts, but still insists on a clean debt limit increase. House Democrats trying to get such a bill onto the floor, as we hear from ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill.
They have been, for the last few weeks, secretly working in the shadows, it was revealed today, to unveil what's called a discharge petition, which would force a debt ceiling bill onto the House floor because the majority of the House controls what bills go to the floor. This is Democrats' attempt to force a bill to raise the debt ceiling without anything attached onto the floor to a vote.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has said he will attend the May 9th meeting.
Social media companies would have to verify the age of users and get parental permission for children to open accounts under a bill currently being circulated in Madison. State Representative David Steffen is the bill's author.
These are parental controls. Think of them as settings just like you have on your phone or your TV that only the parent will have the ability to turn on or off.
Steffen tells WTMJ's Steve Scafidi the bill also requires social media companies to turn off advertisements.
The Packers hedge and Love gets a raise. Greg Matzik explains next in sports.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:04.
This report is sponsored by Creative Planning. Give your wealth a second look. CreativePlanning.com.
Changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Smooth waters and clear horizons are ahead. The experienced team of advisors at Fox World Travel are ready to uncover your cruising style. Are you sailing off into a Caribbean sunset? Taking in the European charm along riverways? Maybe an exotic expedition or Alaskan cruise are on your bucket list. We'll help you cruise like never before with Royal Caribbean, Holland America, Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, and more. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call a Fox Cruise expert at 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the Memorial Day sales event is on. Steer into summer and drive inspired in a new Mazda from Holiday, the destination to get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and enjoy more choices from their fast-expanding selection, including Mazda CX-5, CX-50, and the all-new first-ever Mazda CX-90. Choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way. You'll be in the caring hands of Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer, its #1 Mazda certified pre-owned dealer, and the Badger State's only recipient of the prestigious Mazda President's Club Award, recognizing exceptional guest care. Accolades are per Mazda North American Operations, Performance, and Zone Sales records for 2022. As a repeat fan of theirs, myself, I can confidently say you are in for a great buying and ownership experience when you drive Holiday. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, Jordan Love is getting a pay increase for 2023. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst is hedging his bets.
It's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't, played, but at the same time, obviously, we're moving forward with it.
Instead of picking up the 5th-year option on Love's contract, the Packers and Love work out a contract extension that carries Love through the 2024 season. No word on if the extension was hashed out in person or via FaceTime.
Let's move on from that.
All right, sorry. Instead of earning $2.3 million in base salary this season and a fully guaranteed $20.3 million next season, Love's new deal is worth $22.5 million with $13.5 million fully guaranteed. Love gets a pay increase this year. Packers get some cap relief in 2024.
I think he's in a really good place. Looks like he's in great shape. Again, it's really early, but I think he's ready for this opportunity and excited for it.
Packers also restructured the contract of safety Darnell Savage and agreed to terms with 12 undrafted rookie free agents. Brewers take the field tonight in Colorado, owners of one of the best defenses in all of baseball. In fact, the Brewers are tops in the major leagues in defensive runs saved, tied for second in good fielding plays.
Swinging a broken bat liner that is going to be caught with a diving backhanded grab by Joey Weaver to end the inning.
Yeah, one of the reasons the Brewers defense is in great shape. Brewers and Rockies tonight. Then it's off to San Francisco for a 3-game series against the Giants. First up, 3 in a row against Colorado. Coverage gets underway at 7:05 tonight.
All right, good to have the crew back on the radio, that's for sure. It is 3:08 at WTMJ, the 3 at 3 up next.
At Town Bank, they know when you're working toward a financial goal, every little bit counts. That's why when you open a Total Access checking account, you'll get free ATMs nationwide and a $300 bonus with qualifying actives. Plus, you'll get great mobile and online banking tools. So you can have easy access to your money, plus a little extra to start the year off right. Open an account today at townbank.us/TAC. $100 required to open. Requirements to qualify. Must use link to apply. Member FDIC.
Planning that summer vacation list? Road trip, hiking and kayaking, beer and festivals. Accomplish it all by visiting Beloit this summer. The city of Beloit features a memorable foodie scene, seasonal outdoor experiences, vibrant entertainment, culturally unique arts, and much more. On July 15th, Beloit hosts the Lager Than Life Beer Festival. Golf, hit the trails, or float down the river on a tube. Check out Wisconsin's second largest farmers market. Enjoy decadent local dining in downtown Beloit. Plan your next weekend getaway today. Visit Beloit.com.
Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors. CertainTeed Diamond Level Select Shingle Masters. The best of the best. And that's why you can feel confident in choosing us to install your new roof.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, hope your Tuesday's going great. Sandy Max is here, Greg Matzek's here, Debbie Lazaga is here, Adam Roberts is here. We are here and ready to go.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
All right, Sandy Max, what's first?
It was a difficult day for the markets. Stocks tumbled over concerns related to recent bank failures. ABC News correspondent Alexis Christoforous on what has investors so worried today.
It's not so much the debt ceiling that has investors rattled. They have more immediate issues, and frankly, they just don't believe that the banking crisis is over.
Yeah, this is scary stuff. There are also investors worried about what the Fed is going to do. A decision is looming. Going to raise interest rates again, very, very, very likely, although this bank thing puts a wrinkle into that. Here are the numbers. The S&P 500 recovered a little bit, actually, and was still down 1% or 49 points. The Dow was off 1% or 367 down. NASDAQ dropped 132 points, also a little over 1% on the day. What's next?
A Milwaukee bowling staple is getting a major touch-up.
Falcon Bowl in River West. The iconic Falcon Bowl is indeed getting a little bit of a renovation. They began in April, will be done by mid-June. So here's the deal. The sixth lane alley, has a classic 1950s motif. Pink and white bank seating, mod-shaped scoring tables, vintage diamond motif. Now they're going to carry that through into the bar area. That pink, white, and green color scheme goes from downstairs to upstairs.
They provided renderings, which Greg Matzek loves a rendering.
Love them.
And Mike Spalding in our news team, he said, now this is going to make it like a place you don't kind of have to apologize before you go in. Like, just prepare yourself that this is one of those kind of, like, now it's going to look a little more welcoming, yet still have its charm.
I've never been in this place.
Well, I think we're going to
have
to go. Exactly. And one of the other things I love about Falcon Bowl and this evolution is it really is the community that stepped up to invest and save this establishment, not just some investor from out of town.
Yeah, they're also going to have a big new beer garden, so that's going to be pretty cool.
See, there's
stuff.
A reason to go right there, John.
Yep. All right, what is the third thing?
The third thing is about birds. Yesterday, we told you to cast your ballots in the We Energies Falcon Chick Naming Contest. Well, today, you got something to look for here in Wisconsin.
So, amateur birders, Doug and Jessica Crofton of St. Francis, were out for a drive on Saturday afternoon, and they like to look at birds. They were down at Warnemont Park. And they noticed a bird that they thought at first glance was some sort of bird that we see often here, a warbler. But they took a lot of pictures. They came home and they thought, that's not really what that is. And they discovered, after using an app on their phone, that it was a flame-colored tanager, 1-ounce yellow bird. It was the first sighting of this bird in Wisconsin. according to records for the Wisconsin Society of Ornithology. It's native to Mexico and Central America. Now, here's what I don't understand, okay? So this bird is spotted here. It's the first time it's ever been in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
The only other states it's ever been spotted in, ever, are Texas and Arizona. So that means that there's not very good bird watchers between Texas and Wisconsin. There's no way the bird could fly the whole way at like 30,000 feet. So what happened like in Nebraska, in Missouri, in Illinois, where the bird wasn't spotted, but
just not as keen birders as we have here.
Yeah.
Now, this is the second time this year we've gotten a really rare bird. Remember, it was back in January where everybody was going to South Shore Park because there was that mandarin duck.
Yeah, that's right. That was a cool-looking duck.
Yeah. So bring on the colorful birds.
So people are clustering to this park along Lake Michigan to try to see the bird. On Sunday, this spread on social media, and like 20 people, boom, showed up there with their binoculars and their little bird books. And
so Sheridan Park, right, in Cudahy?
Yeah, it's a couple places it was spotted, but Sheridan Park was one of them. Yep. So check it out. It is 3:14 at WTMJ. 20% budget cut for MPS. That sounds really atrocious, right? There's kind of a silver lining here. We'll tell you what it means for kids in the classroom, their teachers, and their parents up next on WTMJ.
Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we talk about rising government spending and what that might mean for increased taxes and its effect on your retirement portfolio.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here for Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. I've got two corgis, Bella and Baxter. They are fantastic. They're great. They keep us company. And now they're easier to be around because they behave better, thanks to Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. They used to bark a lot more than they do. They used to jump up more than they do. Not so much anymore because Sit Mean Sit Dog Training gave us the tools and techniques to make sure that they listen, they behave. They're better dogs. Start like we did with a free consultation at Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog thanks to Sit Mean Sit Dog Training.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis. Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Get ready to reel in the big one with help from Fleet Farm. Come check out our huge selection of fishing gear, from rods and reels to lures and bait. Choose from over 10,000 lures and find Fleet Farm exclusive colors. Plus, going on now, save on Berkley 2 and 3-inch power grubs. Get 2 for $5. Get everything for your next fishing trip in one stop at Fleet Farm, your fishing headquarters.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Retirement during uncertain times can be a scary thought, but you don't have to go it alone. Our fiduciary advisors are here for you. Call 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hello, Debbie.
Hello, John. Yeah, we got a couple of issues going on. First of all, along 41 southbound, we've got an accident with the 2 left lanes blocked just south of Capitol Drive. Delays are stretching back almost to Good Hope Road, so be prepared for kind of a hefty ride. 39 minutes right now to get from Highway Q to the zoo, so a 25-minute backup. Then we've also got an accident on the ramp from Moreland to 43 southbound on the Rock Freeway. That has a couple of cars. It looks like it's a minivan and a car off into the ditch on the left. A squad is with it, so that should hopefully be taken care of sooner rather than later. But volume's relatively light through there, so we should be okay. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy, a low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, a high of 58. On Thursday, sunny, a high of 65. Friday, slight chance for a shower late in the day, a high of 66. And Saturday, looking pretty good. Mostly sunny, a high of 65 degrees. So the headline of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says, MPS projects enrollment drop in 20% budget fall, but budget plan maintains teaching staff. Alan Borsig is a senior fellow at Marquette University Law School. He is the most respected education writer in our city, and he is with us this afternoon. Alan, good to catch up. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
So this seems to be a contradiction because the article points out that there will be about a 20% cut in this year's budget, but that it's not really all bad news. Kind of help us sort through this. What's going on here?
Well, I wouldn't say don't pay attention to that 20% cut, but don't pay attention to it. It's really that is the federal COVID relief money that came in the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars for MPS, and they've used most of it up or still have some in reserve, but that money is ending. So that's where the drop really lies. If you subtract, and that was used mostly for physical improvements, windows, air conditioning, even some athletic facilities, and who knows what, lots of stuff that doesn't involve long-term commitments because everyone knew the money was going to run out. So if you look at the rest of the budget, it's a pretty stable picture, except that decline in enrollment is a continuing long-term problem, I'd almost say threat to MPS's stability.
I want to ask you about enrollment in a second, but first I want to make sure that we don't miss that. So often there are these sort of stories, Alan, where there's temporary funding and then cities or organizations or school districts don't adjust. It appears here, at least on the surface, that MPS used that money but took things into account and maneuvered in a way that they will be able to maintain individual school budgets and staffing. They're actually adding teachers. Is that right?
A slight. It's kind of magic that there's a slight increase in staffing for next year, including a slight increase in the number of teachers that are listed in the budget. There are also a lot of vacancies, so that's another story. And at the same time, enrollment is listed to go down in the main body of MPS schools. What you think of when you think of an MPS school, enrollment is supposed to go down, is projected to go down another 1,500 students. It goes down 1,000 to 2,000 students every year for, roughly the last 20 years, partly because of declining number of kids in the city and in large part because of parents choosing to send their kids to non-MPS schools. It's as simple as that.
And I was also wondering if homeschooling is part of that after the pandemic and more of that virtual experience.
I think homeschooling is a very small part of it. Virtual schooling, which it would mean being part of a program but doing it from home, has increased some, but it still remains kind of a small part of it. I mean, you got a quarter of all the kids in the city who are getting publicly funded education who are using school vouchers, which means they're going to private, mostly religious schools, most of them in the city, although they don't have to be. So that's a quarter of all the kids, and that program goes up notch by notch every year. The charter schools go up some. Even open enrollment, which means kids who live in the city but are going to schools, public schools in the suburbs or virtual schools statewide, that goes up every year and is projected to go up for next year. So, MPS, as we think of it, that traditional system, is actually educating only just a notch above half of all the kids in the city, which is just a historic landscape change for education around here.
Alan Borsig is with us. You alluded to this earlier, Alan, that a lot of this balance and position is based on the expectation that positions will remain vacant as the district continues to struggle to recruit and keep staff. How big a factor is that? How big a deal is that the district continues to struggle to fill positions?
I think it's a huge big deal. I mean, money is not the biggest problem facing MPS. There's so many other things, including filling teaching jobs, keeping teachers, to be blunt, the quality of teachers, the lives students are leading, and the instability in their lives, and how that impacts classrooms, overall academic. I could just go on with a list of things. And money isn't the biggest one. The teaching vacancies, frankly, I sometimes say MPS is a master of the use of Band-Aids and Scotch tape, because that's what they have to do many days, is move teachers from one room to another, have administrators cover classes, substitutes, which they're also short of. They just they have to keep their act together every day, and it isn't easy. So that vacancy thing, hilariously, I say that ironically, is a huge budget gain, because they have tens of millions of dollars in expected savings from vacancies. But it also means jobs aren't being filled. So it's not a good thing overall.
Alan, when you hear that the budget for the next year is going to be a 19.9% decrease, my panic button goes, oh no, I bet we're losing music, art, those sorts of programs. Are those at risk of being cut in this upcoming school year?
No, it actually calls for somewhat of an increase. Well, again, the biggest problem is you can put down we want X number of music teachers, but we got to find the people to do it. And in many cases, they've had music or art or gym teachers listed, but they haven't had people to fill those jobs. So in the referendum that passed in 2020, there was an intention to increase those subjects, also librarians, and then there has been some increase in that, but that's separate from all the federal aid. Like I said, the 20% decline is almost all short-term federal money that everyone knew was going to go away. So I'm not too focused on that. They were smart enough not to make commitments that are continuing on that.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it, Alan. I mean, that's kind of one of my takeaways here. Despite the problems, they are managing what they got and what they will no longer get. Alan Borsuk is a senior fellow at Marquette University Law School. Are the women in those positions also called fellows?
I imagine that's true. But I'm the only one that has the title of senior fellow, and I can assure you, at its face value, am I an old guy? That's absolutely true. So
that's a cool title. I want to be a senior fellow someday.
Yeah, in itself, it doesn't really mean too much, except that I try to be helpful.
You can be jolly good, Alan.
Alan, it's always good to catch
I try
up.
that too. So.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us, Alan.
Glad to be here.
Senior fellow at Marquette University Law School, Alan Borsuk. It is 3:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. And, well, not a great day out there. Stock slide as bank stocks especially plunge on lingering fears, and the Fed decision is looming, and investors are thinking about that. The S&P 500 was off 48 points, 1.16% to close at 41.19. The Dow is off more than 1%, dropping 367 points to close at 33,684. The NASDAQ slid 132 points, also more than 1% to close at 12,080. The Russell 2000 down more than 2%. Those small cap stocks off 37 points on the day. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning is a fee-only fiduciary. It's not the time to set it and forget it. Get help now. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. It's Annex Wealth Management.
Like it or not, you are a media-consuming machine, chased all day by headlines, texts, emails, on the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. News about market volatility and uncertainty could lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise, Americans report increased stress about their investment and retirement plans. This isn't a time to be frozen in place. Take action. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Build a plan that will help cut through the noise. We'll provide comprehensive investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Let Annex do a deep dive on your portfolio. Offer unbiased advice with Wealth Metric and work to create a solid plan for you and your family. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Head to AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes, in person or online. It's time to take action and know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. AnnexWealth.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A
great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking #1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at geisdoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geis at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Hey, Mother's Day is almost here. Just think about how much your lovely mother means to you. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea. Take your mom to the brunch buffet at the historic Fox & Hounds restaurant. Mother's Day is one of the most special holidays of the year at the Fox & Hounds. The brunch buffet is everything Mom loves for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, including prime rib and an entire room of delicious desserts. And it's all you care to eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. How fun is that? Choose from over 100 wines and delicious cocktails to accent your Mother's Day brunch. The Fox & Hound sits in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest. The setting is stunning. Reservations are required. Tables fill quickly for Mother's Day, so reserve today at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. The Fox & Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The Spring Drive is just beautiful. Happy Mother's Day. Serving from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Reserve today. It's the famous and delicious Fox & Hounds.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Say goodbye to hundreds of proposals.
I'm Sandy Max, trading pencils for picket lines.
I'm Greg Matzik. The Packers show a little love.
I'm Debbie Lazica. That earlier accident on 41 southbound south of Capitol Drive looks like they may have cleared it. However, the delays are still there. I mean, like they just cleared it. So it's 41 minutes from Highway Q to the zoo, 27-minute backup. We've also got an accident on the Moreland Road on-ramp to southbound 43, the Rock Freeway. Just watch out for that. Squads are on the scene. Also, emergency crews, medical, etc. So try and stay away from that area. Give them a wide berth so that they can take care of things. Westbound 94 hitting the brakes from 25th Street through the stadium. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy, a low of 36. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 58 inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, in Madison, the Joint Finance Committee is holding its first votes on Governor Evers' 2-year state budget. The GOP-led committee is removing 500 plus of the governor's items from the proposal. Republican State Representative Mark Bourne.
Rather than being pulled or pushed by an individual, we walk side by side with the people of Wisconsin when we craft a budget made for Wisconsin.
The items cut include marijuana, school meals, and paid family leave.
Social media companies would have to verify the age of users and get parental permission for children to open accounts under a bill introduced by State Representative David Steffen.
So they will be able to control whether that child has a curfew set in place between 10 and 7 a.m., whether they have access to individuals that are not part of their network, and turning down the AI-driven aggressive advertising.
Steffen tells WTMJ's Steve Scafidi parents could opt out of all the requirements.
A 20-year-old man has been charged after allegedly crashing into a Fond du Lac Verizon store and injuring 6 people. Benjamin Ayer is facing 8 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety, injury by intoxicated use of a vehicle, and drug-related charges. According to a criminal complaint, Ayer admitted to huffing a Surf-On electronic duster prior to the crash. Police also recovered marijuana from his car, which traveled 300 feet off-road before jumping the curb of the Verizon parking lot and smashing through the building into the showroom. If convicted, he'll face maximums of more than 60 years in prison.
The U.S. Surgeon General says loneliness poses health risks as deadly as smoking a dozen cigarettes a day. It's costing the health industry billions of dollars a year.
In Wisconsin, lawmakers are trying to curb this epidemic, at least for children, with a bill that would provide a curfew for their social media use.
I think the bill is really trying to regulate the parent-child relationship.
Dr. Megan Moreno, a chairperson for the UW-Madison School of Medicine, says another bill would be much more beneficial to improving adolescent mental health.
The Kids Online Safety Act, it holds the platforms accountable for things like looking at the algorithms that provide dangerous content.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
11,000 TV and film writers have gone on strike after their union could not reach a deal with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. Variety's Michael Schneider notices the labor dispute is taking place at a time when it's not good news for an industry town like Los Angeles.
It could last as long as at least those as well. So we could have an entire town out on the picket line at some point. So this could be going on for a while.
The last strike was 15 years ago and lasted 100 days.
The Packers show the quarterback a little love. Greg Metzik has the story next in sports.
John Mercure here for Griffin Hub in Milwaukee. Right now, Griffin's offering a spring service special. Get the car in there. Make sure you're ready to go for the summer. They'll inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, complete multi-point inspection, check your AC and heat, and change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. And if you're a first responder, they love those guys out there. Show your badge or ID card, or if you're military, get 15% off the savings on your next repairs, including that spring service special. Some restrictions apply. Good at all 5 Griffin service locations. In the market for a new vehicle? I've bought 2 vehicles from Griffin recently. I know, they're the real deal. They'll make it easy. And right now at the Hub, 130 new vehicles in stock, ready for delivery. Great selection of new and pre-owned Dodge Chargers and Challengers, just in time for spring and summer. And check out the all-new 2024 Dodge Hornet at Griffin's Hub, ChryslerJeepDodge.com, or call a trusted certified Dodge Hornet sales professional to learn more today. They've got pre-owned coupes, SUVs, and sedans starting at only $8,000. The teams I trust are at Griffin. Check out Griffin Hub today.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2023. August 17th at the Patched Theaters. Starring the Turtles, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the Grassroots, the Vogues, the Classics 4, and the Cowsills. Reserve seats on sale Friday, 10 a.m. at PatsTheaterGroup.com. The Happy Together Tour.
Need a new bank for your small business? How about an old one? Now through June 30th, you can earn up to a $500 cash bonus when you open a free or basic business checking account with Old National. So think big when it comes to your small business and choose a bank where relationships and results matter. Visit a local branch or apply at oldnational.com/success today. Complete qualifying activities within 60 days of account opening. $50 minimum initial deposit required. Account must remain open 120 days. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, 8 days ago, the Packers traded Aaron Rodgers to the Jets.
Everything's been weird.
Okay, well, I'll say. Today, the Packers extend the contract of quarterback Jordan Love, a 1-year extension worth $22.5 million, $13.5 million guaranteed, according to ESPN.
The moment was not too big for him. You could see that. He was super poised. That, quite frankly, gave us the confidence that we needed to see from him.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. The extension is in lieu of the Packers picking up a 5th-year option on Love's contract for a guaranteed $20.3 million in 2024. Guaranteed money will be split up so that Love gets a healthy raise this coming season. Packers will get some cap relief in 2024. Back to Rodgers, who will apparently continue appearing on the Pat McAfee Show.
Everything's new and exciting and fun. I'm just pinching myself a lot of days. Just I can't believe it's real sometimes. So it's been a dream. Definitely feel energized to be in the building.
Rodgers says he plans to participate in about half the voluntary portion of the Jets' offseason program. Good news, bad news for the Brewers and starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff. Good news is an MRI on Woodruff's injured shoulder yields positive results. The bad news is he'll be out at least another month.
I've talked to numerous people who have had this injury, and the biggest thing is just taking your time. I think the kind of common theme is that you're going to feel good throughout this process, but you have to let that muscle heal before you can really step on the gas. So that's going to be hard for me to do is be patient, but that's what I'm going to have to do to let everything heal first, and then progress in a timely manner.
Brewers begin a 6-game road trip tonight in Colorado against the Rockies. They own the worst record in the National League at 9-20. Freddie Peralta starting for the Brewers. Last time he started in Colorado was his major league debut. Remember that? It was on Mother's Day a few years ago. He struck out 11. He's had an incredible performance. And just a sign of things to come as he became an all-star a couple of years later.
Fastball Freddie, let's go. 3:38 at WTMJ, the top 5 Googled Wisconsin fashion trends. Interesting list. That's up next.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
All right, hope your Tuesday's going well. Coming up in just a few minutes, about 5 minutes or so, Major Garrett, CBS's chief Washington correspondent, will be with us. I love lists, and Greg, you found a list that's pretty interesting.
Would you ever say that Wisconsin's fashion forward?
Never.
Okay.
No.
Not fashion forward, no.
Which is okay.
I also would
like
say
avant-garde, that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of risks being taken in Wisconsin overall, in general.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like we're all proud of Mount Mary and the great fashion program there, and there are interesting things being done. But fashion forward, this is not the place.
Now, I will say, John, the one time you wore that meat tuxedo to school.
Yeah, did you like that?
Well, it was interesting.
Was that okay?
I didn't know why all the birds were following you around.
It smelled kind of weird.
And dogs.
Yeah.
Started to
I was
make
very
sense.
popular with the dog crowd.
Well, there is a study conducted by the fashion experts at Boohoo that examined the Google search data, right? So they just hop into the Google search data, they figure it out, they figure out where people live, and they dialed in the most Googled fashion trends in the country and then each individual state.
All right.
So if you could think about the state of Wisconsin, what do you think might be in the top 5?
Leather pants.
Okay.
I want to hang out with John. I don't know where you are. I was thinking like heated jackets, like when you go to a Packers game and you just want to be warm.
Okay.
Shoulder pads.
No.
For women.
There you go.
I thought maybe lederhosen.
No, that's not on there?
So the number one most searched Google fashion trend
in Wisconsin
is cowboy boots.
What?
Which is also the top in the nation.
In Wisconsin, though?
Yes, so I just think about all the
Cowboy
country, the
boots.
country music influence in the state I think is pretty strong. You
Yeah?
spent a little time at the Morgan Wallen concert at American Family Field. Man, everybody was wearing cowboy boots.
No,
at
but
that
even
show.
if you walked out in the market hall right now, I bet you'd find less than 1% of the people wearing cowboy boots.
But Wisconsin, think about Wisconsin State Fair. And I know that's an agricultural celebration, but you see a lot of people in cowboy boots there. They're simple.
But
Slip
the
them on, slip them
number
off.
one
Yeah,
search
that
fashion
that
term?
certainly surprises me. Can you share with us what else is in the top 5? What's right behind
Leather
cowboy
pants.
boots?
Right behind cowboy boots is not leather pants. In fact, shockingly, it did not make it into the top 5.
okay.
Loafers is number 2.
Oh, okay. I just
Loafers.
bought a new pair of loafers. I Googled loafers about a week ago.
Okay. Now, I don't know if I don't know what it is, but I can't use the term loafers. I can use dress shoes, but I won't use the term loafers because it makes me think of the stuff my dad wore that had the little floppy tassels on it.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's just
yes.
absolutely ridiculous.
Those
Oh,
are
I
back,
love
by the way.
those.
Tassels
No,
are back.
Awful. Just
No,
terrible.
I disagree. They're not. The pair I got just now doesn't have tassels, but
What
I
do
like
they-
the tassels.
What do they do for you?
It's decorative.
Just give me laces.
The classic was Bass Weegens, and you'd slip it. Was it a penny?
penny loafers.
Yeah, penny loafers.
All right, so
Yeah.
that was a thing for a while. That was somehow that became a
It's
male
still
and female
surprising.
fashion
Yeah.
trend.
I would have thought Crocs would have been up there before loafers.
I just got a new pair from Allen Edmonds, and they're beautiful shoes.
Oh, I'm sure they're beautiful.
All right, what else is on
I
the
just
list?
don't get the tassels. I don't know what this is. Chelsea boots?
I have no idea.
What's a Chelsea
Ooh.
boot?
I feel like I should be representing. I'm
I
going
think it's a
to.
shorter boot,
A shorter
like an ankle boot, I think.
Okay, I thought
Okay.
one or the other, either a shorter boot or a longer boot.
These are
You really narrowed it down.
honestly. I think this is all men so far. It looks like a beetle boot.
A beetle
Yes,
boot?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, that's a
yes.
men's boot?
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
I would have said an Austin Powers boot.
Sure.
But okay,
exactly.
same idea.
Same thing.
Number 4, graphic tees,
Yeah.
Well,
which
you
is
can
a
get that
pretty
everywhere.
broad category. One of my favorite graphic tees had the Union Jack flag on it, and underneath it said Grease. I thought that was really funny.
That is funny.
Okay. And number 5 is shackets.
I feel like I know that term, but I can't picture that. What is a shacket? What is
I'm
a
looking that up, too.
shacket?
Back to
This
the
is-
Google. We're adding to the
I
fire
know.
here.
Is that like a shirt and a jacket combined?
a-
shacket.
Maybe?
I guess it looks like it looks like a big flannel shirt that's also a jacket.
Okay.
Okay.
May or may
is
not
Now
have a
that
hood.
sounds Wisconsin.
It's a crossover between
Yes.
a shirt and a jacket.
Unlike cowboy boots, that sounds Wisconsin.
This
A
is
shacket.
not what I expected at all. There are no blue jeans. There are no
leather pants.
leather pants. I don't know if I'm feeling inadequately
shacket. Yeah.
stylish or not.
Bomber jacket's also a popular term used around the country.
Yeah.
And top-end labels being searched, Gucci and Louis Vuitton still drive that category. But yes, cowboy boots, the top
Okay.
searched fashion trend in the state of
Now
Wisconsin.
you
There you
know
go.
what to get your mom for Mother's Day and your dad for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Shacket and some loafers.
Yeah, you got it. It's easy. He's always fashionable. Major Garrett, CBS's chief Washington correspondent, with us up next.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hello, reporting an accident on 43.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, at thehomemazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hey, Debbie, this is Al calling. Southbound 894 is backed up all the way to Beloit Road.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Hi, Debbie. It's Mark. There's an incident on the left shoulder, and it's a parking lot.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, back to report even more home buyers paid over the asking price last month, rising to 50% in the 5-county metro area. 3 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more above that list price. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with the over-asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller some appraisal wiggle room. Telling the seller you're willing to pay over the asking price, even if the house appraises lower, sounds scary because most buyers think they have to fill that potential gap with more down payment. But in the vast majority of cases, AccuNet is showing home buyers how they can offer appraisal wiggle room without bringing a nickel more to closing. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You need to see it to believe it. So if you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
With inflation affecting so many families, the super affordable Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford is better than ever. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Shaft. I used to take my daughters there because it's so much fun, it's so much food, and it's family friendly. Every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. Tacos are just $2.99. Take your kids to the Mine Shaft after school or after practice today. Grandparents, take your grandkids for tacos. They'll love the world-class game room quietly tucked away from the dining area. When you buy one dessert today, you get a second dessert free. Don't pass on that chocolate cake, I'm telling you. Wednesdays, the all-you-can-eat cod fish fry is just $9.99. What a value. The Mine Shaft on Main Street in beautiful downtown Hartford, just off the interstate in Oshkosh. Plenty of seating and close parking. Escape from your kitchen today. Take your family to the Mine Shaft for $2.99 tacos. It's a super affordable lunch or dinner. MineShaftRestaurant.com. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the amazing Mine Shaft Restaurant. MineShaftRestaurant.com. Traffic and weather. Hey, Debbie.
Hey there, John. New trouble on 94 northbound, just north of Ryan Road. We've got an accident blocking the left lane, and that's going to be slowing things down pretty much all the way back to Ryan Road at the moment since it just happened, so be careful with that. Also, the accident on the Moreland Road on-ramp to the Rock Freeway southbound, that's still there. Emergency crews are still on the scene with that, so try and give them a wide berth. Westbound 94, watch out for delays from about 25th Street through the stadium. Southbound 41 is going to be slow from about Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 is just a little bit tight from Fond du Lac Avenue through the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, decrease in clouds and breezy, a low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 58. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 65. on Friday. Slight chance for rain, a high of 66. On Saturday, sunny, a high of 65 degrees.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Major Garrett is CBS's Chief Washington correspondent. He is the host and creator of the Takeout and Debrief podcast. His book is The Big Truth, and he is with us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Major.
Good afternoon, John. How are you?
Good. So the segment before you, we just went through the top Googled fashion terms in Wisconsin. These are what people in Wisconsin want to know about. The number one fashion thing that people are interested in is cowboy boots. In Wisconsin, do you own a pair of cowboy boots?
I do not. I did when I lived in Amarillo, Texas, when I was a Cub reporter. My first job out of college was in Amarillo, Texas. Yes, I was a joiner. I mean, look, I grew up in San Diego, so I didn't grow up with cowboy boots, but when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. And Amarillo will never be confused with Rome, all due respect to Amarillo.
Do you own a pair of Allen Edmond dress shoes,
yes.
Major?
Yeah, pardon me?
Do you own a pair of Allen Edmond dress shoes?
So I used to. Allen Edmonds was my preferred choice of men's shoes all of my career. But as many, let us say, seasoned people do, I developed lower back issues.
Yep.
And my doctor said, change out your shoes. Go to orthotic shoes or shoes that have an orthotic dimension to them. And quite happily, I've lived long enough to where orthotic shoes don't look like they did in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They can be quite stylish. And so I had to swap out all of my shoes. And every single pair of dress shoes I had that I swapped out was an Allen Edmonds pair of shoes. They're fantastic shoes.
Yeah.
They were just not working for me because this is too much information. I have flat feet, and flat feet, as you get older and older, cause an increasing amount of lower back issues. And if you don't have arch support, you can't get through life. I couldn't get through my work life without them, so I had to switch them all out.
Okay, so I'm an Allen Edmonds guy,
Way
too.
more than you wanted to know.
No, it's not.
No, this is
it's
good
not.
information.
And I also have very flat feet, so I don't want to give up the Allen Edmonds, so I have got custom orthotics that I put in my shoes because I want to keep the Allen Edmonds. I don't want to wear slippers and Skechers.
And we want to support a Wisconsin company.
Yes, it's a great Wisconsin company. Phenomenal craftsmanship. As I said, I never bought a pair of dress shoes that were not Allen Edmonds until I just
That's good to hear. That's so good to hear.
My flat-footed friends.
Yes, that's right. We're here for you. Hey, I wanted to ask you about the markets and something specific related to the markets. So I'm surprised the markets are only off 1%, but it is 1%. They recovered a little bit at the end. And it's by and large because of the bank thing, and people seem nervous about the debt ceiling investors do.
Right.
When you think about the markets and the combination of the debt ceiling, the Fed decision, and the other things going on, what's the most important thing you think about?
So the Fed decision will loom very large. I mean, there is an expectation built into the markets of 25 basis points, meaning 0.25%. But even with that, I was watching CNBC a lot today because the markets at one point were down almost 500 points. The Dow certainly was. And many people were saying, look, regional banks are under stress and higher interest rates are going to exacerbate that stress for regional banks. And there's already concerns that regional banks are dealing with in terms of commercial lending, meaning for commercial real estate, buildings not occupied by people who live there, but by businesses are stressed in urban centers all around the country. Why? Because people are not returning to work in the ways that they were there, occupying those spaces pre-pandemic. And those loans are going to come due. And how those loans come due, whether they'll be paid back or not, is a very big concern for regional banks. And they don't need any more other concerns. They're concerned about a recessionary environment, an inflationary environment. They don't need more higher interest rates. And if interest rates keep going up, the stresses will continue. And then we'll have another regional bank that needs to be rescued or some intervention, which will cause what? More anxiety, which will cause what? More regional banks to be stressed. And you can see where this conversation goes. So I'm very much focused on the Federal Reserve. I can imagine a scenario where the Federal Reserve might take a pause and say we're taking a pause to let things settle in a little bit because the inflationary numbers have been less aggressive the last couple of months. The job market continues to look good, but that Fed decision is going to be super, super important. And one that it's only the Fed's decision to make, but it will have many ramifications, not just economic, but quite obviously political.
Major, and another subject when we look at world politics, the U.S. ambassador to China, Nicholas Burns, saying the United States wants to see China press Russia to end the war in Ukraine. But I found it really interesting that House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was very vocal to a Russian reporter saying, hey, I do not support what Russia has done to Ukraine. I support aid for Ukraine, and really got detailed to this reporter. What are your thoughts on, does that elevate the tensions of this whole world situation by having somebody like Kevin McCarthy be that vocal?
Well, I think what Kevin McCarthy is reflecting is a couple of things. One, he's feeling a little stronger in his role as Speaker after successfully taking his rambunctious and small margin conference over the finish line to pass an increase to the debt ceiling. That got him into conversations with President Biden. What did President Biden announce yesterday? That he'll be willing to talk. This is what happens in legislative politics. You prove that you can pass something, then other powers have to pay attention to you. And until McCarthy could do that, the White House wasn't paying attention to him. So he feels emboldened, feels stronger. He understands his conference and the politics they're in. He also understands quite clearly now, and he was a little bit on the fence about this, what the stakes are in Ukraine. And he's also seeing China's interests. First, it was like, oh, China's all in with Russia. Well, maybe yes, maybe no. China may see more advantage for it long term to be the peacemaker there. Not necessarily all in for Russia, but maybe a global peacemaker finding a way to encourage Putin to take an off-ramp. Everyone in the global economy would be better off if there was no more hot war in Ukraine, and if Russia were to back out of that some way. Can China engineer all that? Not necessarily. But McCarthy now sees the stakes involved, and that if Russia does take over Ukraine by hostile means, that's all bad for Europe, and probably, this now is on the other side of the China question, could embolden China and Taiwan. He's against that, so he's now speaking more aggressively on behalf of Ukraine than he did a couple of 3 months ago. I know that's a complicated answer, but there are a lot of different data points to sort of see where McCarthy is getting and why he might have gotten there.
Hey, Major, we've got less than a minute, but I want to ask you quickly, this week, federal approval for a fallen journalist memorial on the National Mall, and it will look at the Capitol, kind of as the watchdog that journalists are. This will look out onto the Capitol. How important is this?
I'm on the board of that organization. I have been for several years, and I've lent my weight and reputation, whatever that may be worth, to this cause. You know, because I've been on this program for a very long time, and you know from the takeout that I believe in journalism. I believe in asking people questions. I believe in holding them accountable. I believe in all the things that are sometimes lesser appreciated about the hard work and the witnessing and the preparation and the visibility that journalism has. Its enduring value in a democracy. And for those who have fallen in behalf of that, to finally have a memorial to them, and not only to the work that they do and those who are still living do, but what they risk to do it, is overdue. And I'm very glad that it's getting ever closer to reality.
Well, thank you for your work on that. Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. It's always our privilege to have you. Thank you, Major.
Thank you, John.
It is 3:56 at WTMJ. All right, Michelle and I are doing something super cool this December, and I'd love for you to be part of it. We're taking listeners on an incredible holiday trip. Please come with us. It's magical New York City, all decked out for the holidays, the first week in December, an absolutely stunning itinerary. We'll walk to dinner and a show on Broadway. We will take in a Rockettes holiday show at historic Radio City Music Hall, the world-famous Rockefeller Christmas tree, a ferry cruise of New York Harbor. We'll go right by the Statue of Liberty. We'll spend time in stunning Central Park and Greenwich Village. Lots of holiday cheer, time for Christmas shopping. This is a great itinerary. I will be with you every step of the way. Let me send you information. My email is john.mercure@wtmj.com, john.mercure@wtmj.com. Our awesome hotel is right in the heart of Times Square within easy walking distance of all the things that make New York so special at Christmas. I've got great brochures. Let me send one to you. My email is john.mercure@wtmj.com. It's a digital email. It's beautiful. It's in color. It's got all the details. John.mercure, MERCURE, at WTMJ.com. New York City, all decked out for the holidays this December. I'd love for you to be with us. John.Mercure at WTMJ.com. Business headlines, Margaret Notchek's at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Molson Coors Beverage Company grew its top and bottom line growth in the first quarter of fiscal 2023, with net sales up 5.9% to $2.35 billion. Filipino-inspired restaurant Meat on the Street announces it has closed and will dissolve its operations just 2 months after moving into the Milwaukee Public Museum. The business began in 2014 as a food truck. The Betty Brinn Children's Museum is in search of both a new home and a new CEO. Brian King announced he will depart from his leadership role upon the hiring of a new CEO. He has served the institution since 2019. I'm Margaret Notchek with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
For 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has set the standard for excellence in hospitality. Its reputation for offering impeccable service and luxurious accommodations is simply unmatched. For your next getaway, pamper yourself with a stay at the Pfister Hotel. Enjoy an evening of fine dining at its classic restaurant, Mason Street Grill. Unwind with a skin, body, or hair treatment at the Pfister Well Spa and Salon. Take in live music with a view from the 23rd floor at Blue Cocktail Lounge. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
You've heard about Purple mattresses. Try it before you buy it at Steinhoffel's.
Visit GetRoto.net for all your sewer and drain cleanup needs.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Looks like these guys are having a rocky start.
Swinging a broken bat liner that is going to be caught with a diving backhanded grab by Joey Weaver to end the inning.
Coverage of the Brewers in Colorado starts tonight at 7:05. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, 500-plus items gone from Governor Evers' budget.
I'm Sandy Max, the end of the road for a Marquette campus restaurant.
I'm Greg Matzik. A new deal for the Packers quarterback.
I'm Debbie Laziga, and we've got an accident along 43 southbound on the Rock Freeway, the Moreland Road on-ramp. Emergency crews are on the scene with this, so be careful with that. We've also got one on northbound 94, right just north of Ryan Road. The left lane is blocked, so we've got some pretty nasty delays already through that area. Westbound 94, heavy 25th Street through the Stadium interchange. And we've got southbound 43 hitting the brakes from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 36. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 58 degrees. From From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, free school lunches, family leave, and funding for the American Family Field are among the hundreds of cuts Republicans in the Joint Finance Committee are making to Governor Evers' two-year state budget.
The GOP-led committee is removing more than 540 items from the proposal. Democratic State Senator Kelda Roys.
The actions today by the majority party are going to make Wisconsin less competitive, less attractive.
The GOP cuts should come as no surprise. Republican State Representative Mark Bourne.
When the solutions, apparently, from the Dems are more government, more spending, smoke more weed, yeah, our approaches are going to be different.
Debate on the budget is expected to last into June. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee police are still searching for those responsible for crashing a vehicle into a school bus on the northwest side. The incident Monday happened outside Morse Middle School near 80th and Mill. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo.
Data shows that since 2020, there have been 74 reckless driving calls to MPD in the area immediately surrounding the school. And for some parents, they say the fear that something may happen is always at the top of their minds.
There's two schools right here and a nursing home right down the street. For somebody to not really care and to recklessly drive and hit another school bus and kids, that's just harmful.
Again, police are still searching for the driver responsible in this crash. So if you have any information that you think could help, you're asked to get in contact with Milwaukee Police as soon as possible.
A Marquette University staple is set to close its doors at the end of the semester. Sobelman's closing after more than 10 years on campus. A Marquette University spokesperson tells our news partners at TMJ4 that the business owners have not renewed their lease. The restaurant has faced closure since last year due to struggles with finding staff. The other Sobelman's locations will remain open in Waukesha and the original on St. Paul Avenue.
Option declined, extension awarded. Greg Matzik has the latest on the Packers next in sports.
Traffic and weather this afternoon is sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Integrity. Your home's integrity depends on the roof, on the windows and doors, on the siding. When your home's integrity fails you, you need the people who won't. Siding Unlimited. The dad started a siding company, called it Siding Unlimited, brought up sons Eric and Aaron Brown to be trustworthy, to value their own integrity, and after college to take over the Siding Unlimited biz. The boys expanded Siding Unlimited beyond siding to windows and doors, roofs and decks, your home's integrity factors. Now you can buy those things from lots of people, but I wouldn't. I value the integrity of Eric, Aaron, and the talented American craftsmen that are the Siding Unlimited team. And I'm not just their spokesman. I'm a Siding Unlimited customer. Reliable, truthful, talented, and trustworthy. Winners of many industry awards and customer accolades. They are SidingUnlimited.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Brewers and Rockies tonight from Denver. Outfielder Tyrone Taylor reinstated from the 10-day injured list. He had been on the injured list since March 29th with a right elbow strain. Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 7:05. Aaron Rodgers continuing his workouts with the Jets.
Everything's new and exciting and fun. I'm just pinching myself a lot of days. I can't believe it's real sometimes. So it's been a dream. Definitely feel energized to be in the building.
Rodgers tells Pat McAfee he's heard from the Mets about the opportunity to throw out the first pitch before a baseball game. How fun. Well, forget about the fifth-year option. The Packers and Jordan Love agree to a contract extension. Love will be contractually tied to Green Bay through the 2024 season as he grows as a leader.
It is hard to lead when you're not the guy, and he knows he's the guy now. So I think that instills confidence in him, and, I'm excited for him.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. So here's how it's going to work. The fifth-year option for 2024 would have been fully guaranteed, $20.3 million. The extension actually contains some more money, up to $22.5 million, according to Adam Schefter, but with $13.5 million guaranteed instead of that full $20.3. Some of that guaranteed money is going to be used in this upcoming season. So Love is going to see a pretty sizable pay increase, maybe triple, quadruple his base salary as was scheduled for this year. And then the Packers are going to get some cap relief in 2024 because they don't have to apply that full $20.3 million to the salary cap. So it's a compromise, no doubt. It's still similar money, a little less guaranteed. But last year at this time, the Giants declined the fifth-year option on Daniel Jones' contract. Then Jones leads the Giants to the playoffs. Then they win a playoff game.
Cha-ching.
And left with no choice, 4 years, $160 million to Daniel Jones.
Cha-ching. And now they can evaluate. They can decide what kind of contract they want to extend to him based on how he does this year with meaningful snaps.
Solid compromise.
Yep. 4:08 at WTMJ. It's Teacher Appreciation Day. That's up next.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
No drafts. Don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. There are over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Free disposal for household chemicals at State Fair Park is this Saturday. Visit MMSD's Home Hazmat Collection from 8 to 2 p.m. Enter Gate 1 off of Greenfield Avenue. Go to MMSD.com for all the details. Milwaukee County residents only, no businesses.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Sandy Max is here, so is Greg Matzik and Debbie Lozica. Adam Roberts producing the show this afternoon. It is Teacher Appreciation Day. These folks are so important. During the school year, they spend more waking hours with our kids than we do as parents. So nice job, teachers. We appreciate what you do.
I would start to clap. It would just sound feeble, like three of us, like a smattering of applause.
Teacher clap.
It's like, I don't think that would sound as
nice job.
hearty.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, I mean it. Is there a teacher when you think of this phrase, Teacher Appreciation Day?
Well, I had lots of great teachers, but Senor Stafford, my Spanish teacher, became a family friend of our family. And to give you an idea how times have changed, after my junior year, I went with Mr. Stafford, just me and Senor Stafford, went to Mexico for like 6 weeks and lived with a family that he knows down in Mexico. You could never, as a high school student, now go with your teacher like on a summer trip. I mean, that would be, I wouldn't want my kids to go with one teacher on a trip.
That's wild.
But we did. And he's my guy, Senor Stafford. He called me Juanito. I was Juanito. Yeah.
Muy bien.
Well, my daughters are having their own Teacher Appreciation Week at their school. So Emily got up out of bed the other morning. It was yesterday morning. I was like, why are you up so early? She's like, I have to deliver donuts to the school at 7:30. We signed up for donut drop-off. I was like, okay, sounds good.
That's nice.
I'll get the kids out of bed. So, yeah, she was up and out the door early, dropping off donuts.
That's great. They deserve it, too.
Absolutely.
Very, very good.
Well, I've always wanted to go to the teacher's lounge. It's like a forbidden place that students just can't get into.
Yes.
What goes on in there?
Like
I just remember that always smelled like smoke.
Yeah, what's happening in there?
What's in that fridge?
Right. I always wanted to.
Well, today is Teacher Appreciation Day. So if you are still in touch with your teachers, you can email them. For gosh sake, think about how much it would mean if you just said, hey,
A good
you know
idea.
what you taught me meant a lot. Next week is officially Teacher Appreciation Week all around the country and here in Wisconsin as well. And if you dig a little, you can find some treats like Collectivo Coffee is giving away free coffee on May 9th to teachers.
You didn't tell us who your favorite teacher is.
My favorite, gosh, like you said, I had several, and I had some really tough dance teachers at the Youth Performing Arts School. Those were some formative years. But I would say, oh my gosh, isn't that funny? I'd say Mrs. Drucker in third grade.
Oh,
Mrs.
nice.
Drucker was a
Third
good
grade
person.
teacher.
Yeah.
I'm married to one.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Good point.
Brian.
So that's your favorite
But then,
teacher.
but yes, of course. And but then I've got Mrs. Gundrum, who was my English and forensics coach, and then Miss Murray and Mr. Vapraskis, who was a choir teacher. We loved him so much, and if he's tuned in, go V. So yeah.
I loved Mrs. Crusetto. She was my third grade teacher. I mean, I literally loved her. I thought I was going to marry her.
Aw.
First crush.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Debbie, married to a teacher,
Yeah.
what do you think he would really feel special that was appreciated?
Of what, like a gift or something?
Yeah.
Oh, quiet.
Cash.
Some nice quiet.
Whiskey?
Well, actually, rum. He's a rum
Ooh,
guy.
nice.
So yeah, they might be getting him some rum.
So instead of a nice email or phone call to your favorite teacher,
Yes.
a little snifter of rum.
I
Thanks,
like
Debbie.
that.
So happy Teacher Appreciation Day. Thanks to all the teachers for what you do.
It's 4:13 at WTMJ. Our coronation countdown to Saturday's big day continues up next with a very special guest.
WTMJ's Steve Scafidi.
Here's another one of those bright, shining moments when parents got to be parents. They got to do better. Is parenting easy? Hell no. But can you make better decisions? Yeah, of course you can. If you were in a mall food court in the 1980s, there was no better life, man. You had everything going for you, especially as a high schooler or a college student. It's different if you're bringing in a subject matter expert, but everybody thinks they're that now, and most people aren't. You know, it's a hard concept for some of you, but it's one you should start to grasp as soon as possible.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on WTMJ.
Time for a Screamin' Sicilian, or time to start thinking about it. Might not be dinner time yet, but we are getting close. Did you know they're stuffing that crust? Screamin' Sicilian. That's right. Over 2.5 feet of cheese right there in the crust. That means every bite, you're going to have a cheese, and maybe a little bit more than you ever thought. That's right. Artisan stuffed crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, whole milk mozzarella. The Screamin' Sicilian is a different level of frozen pizza. I can promise you that. Now, the hard part is just trying to pick out the best one. Try them all if you'd like. Screamin' Sicilian, the best of the business. And as far as I'm concerned, all made by Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, found wherever you like to shop. Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Piggly Wiggly, Sendik's, Woodman's as well. Stop in, pick up a few, stock up the freezer, pop one in the oven tonight. Made in Wisconsin for over 55 years, right in Milwaukee, as a matter of fact. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV-stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit bytheyard.net. That's bytheyard.net.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
When was the last time you had a second opinion on your retirement plan? If you have $750,000 or more, schedule your retirement review with one of our fiduciary advisors at thekowalway.com.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Loziga, how's that ride rolling?
Well, northbound 43 is not where you want to be right now. We do have an accident in the construction zone just north of Port Washington Road. Left lane is blocked, so that's going to start to build up a bit in volume. That's really the only other accident that's still up on the board. The one on the Rock Freeway, the one at Ryan Road, both of those have been cleared. Westbound on 94, heavy from about 20th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Southbound on 41, slowing down from Silver Spring past Capitol Drive almost to Burleigh. Then it opens up. You're okay all the way to the zoo. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy, a low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 58. Thursday, sunny, a high of 65. On Friday, slight chance for rain, a high of 66. On Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 65 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, it is 50 degrees.
In 4 days, a new monarch takes the throne in London.
As the Queen herself did with such devotion, I shall endeavor to serve you with loyalty and love.
This is the Wisconsin's Afternoon News Coronation Countdown.
Oh, we've got a special treat for you today. Adam von Gutken is the co-founder and CEO of Highclere Castle Gin. He knows a lot about what's happening over in England right now, and Adam's with us this afternoon. So good to have you here.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
A couple questions about the coronation, because we're all about it on the afternoon show. We're pretty jazzed about Saturday.
Yes.
Tell us about the excitement right now. How would you describe the English mood as the coronation gets closer? You're attuned to everything that's happening over there.
Well, it's incredibly celebratory. London is absolutely stunning right now. The Union Jack is flowing over the streets, and parties are being planned and all over the country, all over the Commonwealth for that matter. And I'm very fortunate to be off myself to London from the States to enjoy the coronation concert at Windsor Palace in just a few short days. So I can't wait to see it with my own eyes.
Adam, how do you get an invitation like that, and how does it arrive?
Well, it was a very kind invitation, to be honest. So I'm very honored to serve on the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, which was really kind of started the brainchild of Her Majesty the Queen a few years ago, just shortly before she passed away. And it's really about honoring her legacy and her service through all the years by helping young leaders throughout the world and young entrepreneurs, which are two things that are also very important to me. I was a very young entrepreneur when I started my first business, and didn't have a very lot in the very beginning. So it was people and mentors and access to things like this that certainly helped things along. So yeah, very, very excited to serve on the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, and that's why I've been invited to attend.
Adam von Gutken is with us. Is there any lingering sadness over the death of the Queen, or has the page been turned? I know this is going to be a big celebration, but does the Queen still factor in what will happen over the next few days and weekend?
Well, I think so. I mean, it was such a recent event for the world, and it's still kind of there. You know, she's left a bit of a hole because she's been with us on the global stage for so long, and was unwavering in her kind of kindness and her what she stood for. And I think that there's something to be said for that still being gone so recently. But I think His Majesty the King is going to fill those shoes incredibly well, and he's prepared for it his entire life, and he's ready, and he's got a good support system, and he's got obviously a great head on his shoulders. So I think it's really about celebrating new beginnings in the future, which is something we all need a bit right now. Is like the beauty of where we're all heading,
And Adam, you're kind of 1 degree away from the throne. I happen to be well, because you work with Lord and Lady Carnarvon, who are the proprietors of Highclere Castle that everyone would recognize from Downton Abbey. But the weekend that I was in London was the weekend that the Queen passed away. And because Lord Carnarvon is the godson to the Queen, they were going to have a big theme party at Highclere Castle. And yes. I was going, and I actually called ahead. I'm like, are you still going to celebrate? This country hasn't experienced the death of a monarch in 70 years. And Lord and Lady Carnarvon said, it's what she would have wanted. The show must go on. And it was very interesting to be in that environment after this huge event.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an intense moment. And so my business partner in the Highclere Castle Gin, of course, is the owners of Highclere Castle, the Earl and Countess of Carnarvon. And Lord Carnarvon was one of, so many godchildren to Her Majesty the Queen. And, they're very, very lucky. As a matter of fact, just last year, Her Majesty's horse won a very big race, and Lord Carnarvon was at the race. And as a celebration, sent Her Majesty a bottle of Highclere Castle gin, and she sent back a very, very kind note. And over the years, as when Lord Carnarvon especially was younger and stuff, he had the opportunity to visit Balmoral and spend some time with King Charles as children and things like that. So yes, it's a very, very, very special brand to be associated with Highclere Castle, and something that, a journey that I'm honored to be on.
So we can now toast to the king. We found out yesterday we can have a coronation quiche and make that.
I heard about that. I did hear about that.
I'm more excited about what you and Lord Carnarvon have developed, though. A King Charles cocktail?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this was a neat one. So, of course, 6 months ago, I started thinking about what can we do that's really unique. And I kind of challenged myself and my team to come up with a cocktail that, maybe just maybe in 50 years it'll be considered a classic. And so the King's two favorite spirits is gin and Scotch whiskey, which are also my favorite two spirits. And they're not typically used together. So I thought, let's challenge ourselves to smash them together into a glorious cocktail. And it took my team about a week to get it right.
That's a lot of taste testing,
Oh, it's the best part of our business is the R&D, of course. So we've got Highclere Castle gin, we've got single malt Scotch, we've got fresh lemon juice, and we've got orange curacao, and that's all stirred with ice until it's very cold. It takes on this gorgeous kind of honey champagne hue, and then that's poured into a coupe glass or a nice little cocktail glass, straight up, so no ice. And then what we do is and this is an homage to Highgrove, where the King has always managed and kind of created this beautiful, sustainable gardens. So we take a little sprig of rosemary, we touch it with a torch or lighter, and then we kind of waft it over the drink and serve it as a garnish. And the whole thing is incredibly regal.
It is beautiful. Adam von Guten is with us, co-founder and CEO of Highclere Castle Gin. So we all know Highclere because on this show we love Downton Abbey.
Yes.
And we've seen all of them many times. But it's also a place Winston Churchill visited. And you use botanicals found on the English estate, right?
Yes, we use botanicals in the gin that are all grown around Highclere, the real Downton Abbey. And we've got oranges and lime flowers from the Victorian orangery behind the castle, and then we use lavender that was planted in the walled monk's garden in the 9th century by the Bishop of Winchester. So we've got 1,000-year-old lavender beds that we're harvesting for this gin. And then ultimately we're the first gin in the world to use oats, which are grown as prize-winning horse feed for thoroughbreds around the world at Highclere Castle. And that makes it a really creamy kind of flavor profile finish to the gin, which is why I think we've now earned over 100 international double gold and platinum awards, and we're on track to be the most awarded gin in the entire world.
Lots of history and authentic Englishness in the Highclere
You got
Castle
it.
gin. So you can
You
toast
got it.
to the king with the King Charles cocktail.
Can I ask you, Adam, one more royal family question unrelated to the gin? I'm watching The Crown right now, and it's in the episodes where Camilla and Charles are doing their thing, and he's still married to Diana. Is the whole Camilla thing settled? Are we good with Camilla's role?
I mean, I'm not really well enough poised to speak on that, but I think Camilla's going to be a fantastic queen. She's been by the king's side for a long, long time now, and it just appears to me that she's everything that graceful elegance and kindness that you need to be in the role. I think she's going to be fantastic.
What a great few days you're going to have. You've created something incredible here, and you're going to have a wonderful several days there. We're so glad that you were with us. This was so much fun for us, Adam. Thank you.
I appreciate it, too. And you can get the recipe and see pictures on our website at highclerecastlegin.com and even have a bottle shipped right to your door in Wisconsin.
Let's do that.
Perfect. Enjoy the concert.
Thank you so much. I will be with you in spirit.
And every minute of this magical, historic occasion.
Adam von Guten, co-founder and CEO of Highclere Castle Gin. It is 4:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Well, the stock slid today. Bank stocks especially plunged on lingering fears, and a Fed decision is looming, and investors are a little bit nervous today. The S&P 500 was off 48 points to close at 41.19. The Dow ended down 367, but at one point it was down more than 500, closing at 33,684. The NASDAQ off 132 to close at 12,080. And the Russell 2000 off 37 to close at 1732. Each of those indexes, by the way, off more than a full percentage point. Crude oil was down on the day. Gold and silver both up. The 10-year Treasury bond was off as well. Annex Wealth Management. It's time to calibrate your plan. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button to start today.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call, 414-285-3474.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
It will be an evening of nonstop laughter with the Latin Kings of Comedy, featuring Paul Rodriguez.
The only good thing about getting old is that now I can sit and watch television, and I know what all those pharmaceuticals are for.
For one night only, Friday, May 5th, 8 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
If you're going to get married, guys, go home and see her mother. Get a good look at the future. And you ladies go see his father. Find out where that belt is going to be.
Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. It's the Latin Kings of Comedy, featuring Paul Rodriguez. Friday, May 5th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Must be 21 to attend show.
If you were offered a guaranteed cash prize, would you take the offer or would you risk it to possibly win more? It's Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells Take It or Leave It, where on May 27th, you could be chosen to play the Take It or Leave It game, where you could be one of several participants to have the opportunity to pick a case containing up to $100,000 in cash. It's the Take It or Leave It game, May 27th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
See Ho Chunk Gaming representative for more details.
Visit GetRoto.net for all your sewer and drain cleanup needs.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, the JFC gives hundreds of thumbs downs to Evers.
I'm Sandy Max. Could loneliness be deadly?
I'm Greg Matzik. The Packers show a little love.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. An accident on northbound 43 just north of Port Washington Roads, off on the left shoulder now, but it's in that construction zone, so you can imagine we got some pretty nasty delays all the way back to Capitol Drive. Southbound side's going to be slow from Capitol all the way through the Marquette as well. Westbound 94 slow right out of the Marquette through the Stadium interchange. Right now from downtown to the zoo, we're up to about a 15-minute ride. That is an extra 8. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years. Tonight, rainy, a low of 40 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 58 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, in Madison, the Joint Finance Committee is holding its first votes on Governor Evers' two-year state budget. The GOP-led committee is removing 545 of the governor's items from the proposal. Republican State Representative Mark Bourne.
Rather than being pulled or pushed by an individual, we walk side by side with the people of Wisconsin when we craft a budget made for Wisconsin.
The items that were cut include marijuana legalization, school meals, and paid family leave.
Social media companies would have to verify the age of users and get parental permission for children to open accounts under a bill currently being circulated in Madison. State Representative David Steffen is the bill's author.
These are parental controls. Think of them as settings just like you have on your phone or your TV that only the parent will have the ability to turn on or off.
Steffen tells WTMJ's Steve Scafidi the bill also requires social media companies to turn off advertisements.
The U.S. Surgeon General says loneliness is an epidemic plaguing the U.S.
Dr. Megan Moreno, a chairperson for the UW-Madison School of Medicine, says there's a divide for adolescents when it comes to what this loneliness looks like.
Some are lonely in their offline worlds, and the online world is where they're not lonely, and for some, it's vice versa.
Dr. Moreno, however, says fixing an issue like this has to be an all-hands-on-deck approach.
So making sure we're giving kids the opportunity to engage and reduce their loneliness in places where they're comfortable.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
A 20-year-old man has been charged after he allegedly crashed into a Fond du Lac Verizon store and injured 6 people. Benjamin Ayer is facing 8 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety, injury by intoxicated use of a vehicle, and drug-related charges. According to a criminal complaint, Ayer admitted to huffing a Surf-On electronic duster prior to the crash. Police also recovered marijuana from his car, which traveled 300 feet off-road before jumping the curb of the Verizon parking lot and smashing through the building into the showroom. If convicted, he's facing a maximum of more than 60 years in prison.
The first TV and film writers' strike in 15 years is underway and is expected to bring production in the nation's entertainment center to a halt.
From CBS's The Late Show, it's time for The Late Show, to ABC's The View.
We don't have writers. Okay.
The Writers Guild of America strike is hitting a lot of productions. And Variety's Michael Schneider says while May is typically when shows end their seasons, the strike could affect months down the line.
A lot of writers' rooms were about to go back to work for next fall, so there could be a big delay in the fall TV programming lineup, especially at the traditional networks.
Netflix has said it could turn to overseas series to fill some of the void during the strike. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Aaron is practicing and talking. Greg Matzek shares coming up in sports.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:34. John Mercure here for Town Bank. Town Bank is the real deal. I've been there for quite some time, about a decade actually. They just take the best care of my family. And I go into the bank a lot. It's close to my house. I just like to do it that way. But I also use the online stuff. And if you pay your bills online, use the mobile app, even deposit your checks, you need to have a company that has a robust online customer service because you're going to need it. And that's where Town Bank comes in. They have the best online customer service. They're going to take really good care of you. And they know you're working toward a financial goal. So if you're thinking about making a switch, now's the time to do it. Every little bit counts. When you open a Total Access checking account, that's what I have, you get free ATMs nationwide. You also get a $300 bonus. How cool is that? And no matter what your goals are, Town Bank can help you achieve them with banking solutions like entrepreneur checking, small business loans, and much more. They've also got junior savers accounts for the kids. I love this. They're fun. You teach your kids about investing, and they have access to activities and giveaways throughout the year. To learn more, check out townbank.us. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry. Ridgetop Exteriors is Wisconsin's #1 choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. We are the trusted local experts who live and work in the areas we serve, which means we're helping friends and neighbors too. On top of that, Ridgetop Exteriors offers the most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Then make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. Specializing in artisanal American cuisine, Aria features carefully prepared seasonal entrees along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. Join them on Sundays for the restaurant's famous trademark chicken, served family style with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. Make your plans today to dine at Aria. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com. That's aria@stkate.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzek.
Well, Jordan Love's getting a pay increase for 2023. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst is hedging his bet while creating a little cap space.
It's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't, played, but at the same time, obviously, we're moving forward with him.
Instead of picking up the 5th-year option on Love's contract, the Packers and Love work out an extension that carries Love through the 2024 season. No word on if the extension was hashed out in person or via FaceTime.
Let's move on from that. that.
Okay. Instead of earning $2.3 million in base salary this season and a fully guaranteed $20.3 million next season, Love's new deal is worth $22.5 million with $13.5 million guaranteed. Some of that money will be applied to this year's salary. Love gets a pay increase. The Packers get some cap relief in 2024.
I think he's in a really good place. Looks like he's in great shape. Again, it's really early, but I think he's ready for this opportunity and excited for it.
Packers also restructured the contract of safety Darnell Savage and agreed to terms with 12 undrafted rookie free agents. Well, if it feels like the Brewers are playing great defense this season, because they are. Milwaukee leads the major leagues in defensive runs saved, tied for second in good fielding plays because of plays like this.
Swinging a broken bat liner that is going to be caught with a diving backhanded grab by Joey Weaver to end the inning.
Brewers in Colorado tonight to begin a 3-game series. Tyrone Taylor, Brewers outfielder, activated from the injured list. First opportunity to play this season comes tonight. Milwaukee 18-10 on the season. Coverage gets underway at 7:05.
Thank you, Greg. It is 4:37 at WTMJ.
This report is sponsored by Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
In the past 70 years, there's something that has never changed. The kitchen. Oh, it may look a little different as the decades have passed, but it's always been where family gathers for meals, memories, and more. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has always understood that and remains dedicated to making that important space special.
With an expansive 18,000 square foot showroom filled with full-size displays featuring Play-Doh custom cabinetry, award-winning designers, plus their own in-house installation department, let Wisconsin Kitchen Mart transform your kitchen into a true gathering place.
I'm Robert Iskey, Vice President and Designer from Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. We've been remodeling kitchens and baths since 1951 and can help establish a vision for your remodel. We bring the carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and everyone else needed to make your dream kitchen a reality.
Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. On the corner of West Wisconsin Avenue and 36th Street in Milwaukee. Online at wisconsinkitchenmart.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
We want to update you on that terrible story in the Houston suburb where one neighbor went to another neighbor's house after the first neighbor complained about gunfire, and the neighbor that went next door then shot and killed 5 people in that house. ABC's Alex Stone is with us. Alex, I guess the primary question is, any leads on where this guy is? They can't find the shooter.
No, the FBI is saying that they have no leads and that they have set up a mobile command center in the area of his neighborhood, and they say they're getting intelligence and running down tips. But is he in the area, living fugitive style? They have his cell phone. He dropped that, so unless he had a backup, he doesn't have that to communicate, which is actually a bad thing because then they can't track him from cell phone pings, so they really have no idea where he is. But is he kind of living off grid right now in the woods around there, or is he dead, or did he go to Mexico or to somewhere else? They really don't know. But people are pretty freaked out around Cleveland, Texas, in the neighborhood where he lives, because they believe he could be hiding somewhere around there if he didn't go back to Mexico where he's from. Betty Vasquez lives in the area. She says very worrisome.
We are afraid. We have kids, and we don't know where he's at.
So, John, the FBI is the lead on it right now. They believe he has the AR-15 that he used in the murders, allegedly, on his next-door neighbors. Doesn't have that cell phone. So, I mean, they're tracking him down. It really comes down to old school, trying to look for anybody who says that they saw him in the area, any footprints, any scents, a lot of dogs being used. But those who live around him say that he and his wife actually were always pretty cool, and that they're surprised by all of this. He allegedly was drunk on Friday night, firing off his AR in his yard, and then got angry, but this guy lives next door.
They wave at you, they're friendly, that's why I said I don't understand it. I don't think anybody understands it.
But as we were talking yesterday, when they thought that they had a sighting of him in the area in Montgomery County next door, that turned out to be no good. It was a guy who looked like him. So they've had a lot of that where they get a 911 call and somebody very well-intentioned will say, I think I saw him right here. They swarm the area. Turns out to be not him or nobody was there. But they've been doing that the last couple of days over and over again. So far, though, they have no idea where he is.
Alex, has his wife also disappeared?
I believe that she is in the area, that she didn't run away. So they've been able to talk to her, get some indication from her is the best knowledge that we have on her whereabouts. But he ran away, and they've got no idea.
Police were called several times related to this, right? I mean that evening.
You're right. 5 times is what the other neighbors say, that this is a complaint. The neighbors in Cleveland, Texas, say that they have dealt with for a very long time, that they would call law enforcement and law enforcement would not respond to the area. It's not clear, did it just take a really long time for them to get there living in a rural area, or did they just not respond, or were they too busy with other priority calls? And in Texas, firing off a gun in a yard is not necessarily a priority call in that moment. We don't know, but neighbors are saying that now that area is saturated with federal agents and police, that they're actually liking that aspect of this, that now police are finally noticing them. Listen to this neighbor. He says, one, that a lot of people fire off guns in that area when they celebrate or for fun some nights. He doesn't like that. But two, that they don't get respected by police.
It's really reckless when it comes to the gunfire back here. I want responsible gun owners. I want respectful neighbors. That's basically it. It's chaotic, lack of law support from the sheriff's department, almost zero presence back here. And if we do get something back here, nothing's done about it.
So that's something that either the state of Texas or the federal government will have to deal with the San Jacinto County Sheriff's Department of, are they not responding to those neighborhoods? If they aren't, why aren't they going in there? Are they not getting representation for some reason from law enforcement? But a lot of neighbors been saying that they would call 911 and nobody would come.
ABC's Alex Stone. Thank you for the update, Alex.
You got it. Thanks, John.
It is 4:43 at WTMJ. The Milwaukee Health Briefing with Dr. John Raymond up next.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Eric Smith here from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air, home of the AC Gurus. And I believe there are 3 areas where you just don't go cheap: tires, toilet paper, and tune-ups. I call them the 3 T's. As much driving around as our trucks do, we can't skimp on tires. We want to remain famous for being on time. Toilet paper, well, we don't have to get into that, but you feel me, right? 1 ply just won't cut it. Then there's tune-ups. If you expect your AC to start up and keep running strong all season, if you want to ensure your equipment lasts years longer, that calls for an ostentatious AC tune-up by a guru from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. That time spent with your AC, that 90 minutes to 2 solid hours, whoa, that's some quality time. And the results are guaranteed. Remember, you get what you pay for, and then some with Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We deliver the cold air with timeliness. Oh, that's 4 T's. Schedule your appointment online at teamaustin.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Differentiation Officer Brian Wickert reminding home shoppers that working with AccuNet is different and better than working with your bank. Most bank pre-approvals state they've only verified the potential home buyer's credit, but not their income or money for down payment. To us, that's just crazy. AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval tells the seller we've checked out all 3 aspects of your financial health and that we'll pay $2,000 if our pre-approval is faulty. Banks don't do that, but they do have a lot of overhead with all their vice presidents and fancy branches. We keep overhead low, which means lower rates and closing costs that are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks. Most importantly, our loan consultants can show you and your agent how to improve your financing and appraisal contingencies so your offer has the best chance of winning in a multiple offer situation. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Click on the blue button today for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. How's that ride rolling, Deb?
Well, we still got that issue on northbound 43, just north of Port Washington Road. We've got an accident there. They've moved everything off to the left shoulder, but that's the construction zone, so it's icky bad. It's going to be slow pretty much from, I would say before North Avenue, all the way up to that area. Southbound side is going to be backed up from North Avenue down in towards the Marquette. Maybe a little bit of a backup between Keefe and Locust as well. Westbound on 94, we're hitting the brakes a bit right out of the Marquette through the Stadium interchange. Once you make it to Hawley Road, it should open right up all the way to the zoo. And then on the eastbound side, we're seeing delays from 76th Street through the stadium as well. Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy, low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, a high of 58. On Thursday, sunny, a high of 65. On Friday, nice for most of the day. Maybe a chance for rain late, a high of 66. And check out Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 65 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, it's 50 degrees.
If you could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts could.
Dr. John Raymond is the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. Raymond, thank you so much for being with us in the studio.
Good afternoon, John.
So last week we had a question from a listener who wanted to know if the current strains of COVID are more infectious or more severe than what we've experienced in the past. And you wanted to look into that, and you have.
I did. I looked at the Wisconsin State Hygiene Lab, and the strains of COVID that are circulating now are the same that were circulating several months ago. So the simple answer to the question is no. The strains that are circulating now aren't any different or more severe than the ones that we've been dealing with before.
So that's good news. Not more likely to lead to hospitalizations?
No, in fact, nationally, hospitalizations continue to go down, although reporting is spotty and occasional, but there still looks like there's a positive trend.
Good. Let's hope it keeps going that way. I wanted to ask you about some of those people that work in hospitals and work in our clinics and work everywhere, and that's nurses. It seems like we've been reading for quite some time that the nursing shortage is real and could be approaching crisis level. Can you give us some perspective on this situation and specifically here in Wisconsin, what it looks like?
Yeah, thank you so much for calling attention to what is becoming a crisis for us. Nursing shortage is real, it's severe, and it's been exacerbated by burnout from COVID. So we've lost anywhere between 10 to 20% of the frontline nurses who've either gone into other professions or retired or gone into parts of nursing that don't require direct patient care. So this is a real challenge for us. Nursing is an important and noble profession, but it's a very, very difficult profession, and people are feeling the strain. So there is a new program sponsored by University of Wisconsin Health System and Madison College that takes CNAs, certified nursing assistants, or medical assistants, and gives them a 4-year program where they can work and go to school tuition-free to earn their associate's degree in nursing, and then they're guaranteed a job if they can pass the nursing board. So that's a very novel solution.
And you're right, what they do is so critically important.
Now it's May, Dr. Raymond, and it doesn't feel like May. It's kind of gray and soup-eaten weather, but we're going to get into springtime, and it is that time where I want to go for a walk. I'm more in the mood to eat salads and eat healthy. And you showed me a survey that the American Heart Association did that actually ranks 10 diets and which of the ones are truly most healthy. What are your opinions on these findings?
Yeah, well, everybody's getting ready for their beach bodies.
Exactly.
So they're going to be looking at these diets. And so what the American Heart Association did was get together a committee of experts to review the 10 most popular diets in the U.S., and they ranked them not on their ability to help you lose weight, but on heart healthiness. And so what was interesting was that they ranked a diet we've talked about before, the DASH diet, as the top heart-healthy diet, along with the Mediterranean diet. And what they have in common is you can have some dairy products, but they're low-fat, low on animal meats, high in fish, fruits, whole grains, nuts, things like that. Other diets that received good marks were vegetarian and pescatarian, which are fish-rich diets. And the ones that ranked the lowest were pretty popular. They're keto and paleo diets.
All the meat.
All the meat, the reliance on animal protein and animal fats for that diet. And others that were second tier, maybe not so good, surprisingly, were vegan and low-fat diets.
Really?
You know, we do need fats
Yep.
in our diet, but some vegetable fats are preferred to others. And what these vegan and low-fat diets often do is substitute carbohydrates for fats.
Ah, gotcha. So Mediterranean fish-based is really a nice, healthy choice.
It is. It is.
And what does DASH stand for again?
Gosh,
Oh,
I'm not
surprise.
sure I know. I should know because I actually did a study on it back in the 90s. But it's a high potassium diet that, again, is rich in beans and fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables.
I wanted to ask you about flossing because we talk a lot about flossing and how important it is, and it's about more than just your teeth. It can actually be a good barometer for your heart, right? And it can help keep your heart healthy. Explain that.
Yeah, kind of surprising, but actually well known in medical circles that there's been a link between oral and dental health and heart health. And so there was recently a periodontist from the Cleveland Clinic that talked about this in the national media. And what they said was if your gums and teeth are bad, that increases systemic inflammation and can lead to coronary artery disease. Interestingly enough, it can cause hypertension and also heart failure. So, you know, other than having a nice smile and gums that are healthy and good teeth, there's other systemic benefits to flossing. And brushing your teeth isn't enough. I'm sure your dentist will tell you flossing is just as important as brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
And that water pick flosser counts. It helps.
It does, yeah.
And it
you're
makes
right.
it more fun. As medical mysteries go, there is a curious situation happening right now, an unusual rise in brain infection in children.
Yeah, and this is a medical mystery. And first of all, we don't need to worry about it here in Wisconsin. What the CDC reported was an unexpected increase in brain abscesses around Las Vegas in kids, and not in young kids, but typically in boys around 12 or so, and typically 4 or 5 cases a year in Nevada, and this year they've seen 18, and they really don't know the cause. And this is serious because typically those infections can't be treated with antibiotics. You need to open up and drain the abscess. So it requires brain surgery. So that's something that's being investigated right now.
But as you said, not here in Wisconsin, anything that
Not
we need
here
to
in
worry
Wisconsin.
about. We talk a lot about how sometimes financial health can have implications for your medical health, and a new survey out talks about how many seniors in America can't afford nursing homes or assisted living. This would seem to be a critical problem.
It is, and it's surprising because I think in many ways we think that older adults are asset rich.
Yeah.
But they're not. And there was a recent study on aging called the New Study by the National Coalition on Aging that was co-sponsored with a center at the University of Massachusetts. And they said that many adults lack the financial resources to be able to pay for 2 years in a nursing home or 4 years of assisted living in home. And so that was 80% of individuals might not be able to afford that. And kind of a lower bar of just being able to afford some level of in-home assisted care. 60% of retired adults were at risk to not be able to afford that.
60%? That's a really big number.
It's a huge number. But I think we're all aware Americans compared to peer countries aren't good savers.
Yeah.
And that many enter retirement in a precarious situation. And so any health challenges could really pose significant problems for them.
Yeah, that's true. Medical costs can run up quickly. All right, Dr. John Raymond's good news of the week.
Yeah, well, I kind of alluded to it earlier. You know, it does look like, and you know I'm very cautious, that we are probably transitioning from the pandemic state of COVID-19 to an endemic state. We've had pretty stable to declining levels of COVID-19 now for about a year. Hospitalizations are going down. And so what endemic means is that you're in a predictable level of burden of disease. It's still too high. Looks like we're having about 50,000 deaths per year in the U.S. from COVID-19, but we're sort of settling out at a new level.
All right, headed the right direction.
Yeah.
Dr. John Raymond is the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin. We always appreciate you being with us. Thank you, Dr. Raymond.
Thanks, John and Sandy.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ.
Hey, live life to the fullest, right? You hear that term all the time, but it's easier said than done, especially when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee and the state back their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain. And not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, maybe your hips, your shoulders, back, all of the above? QC Kinetics concentrates the impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. That means no surgery, no downtime, no steroids, no harmful drugs. Patients are raving about the results. So what does it look like to you, living life to the fullest? Being able to exercise, maybe walk your dog, or enjoying time with your family, just being outside or working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait. Don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for a complimentary consultation at 414-285-3474. Give you the number again here. It's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Business headlines. Margaret Notchek is at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Betty Brinn Children's Museum CEO Brian King announces he will depart from his leadership role upon the hiring of a new CEO. The institution is also in search of a new permanent home. Meat on the Street closed its Milwaukee Public Museum location just 2 months after opening. The Filipino-inspired restaurant will dissolve the business after 9 years in operation. Molson Coors Beverage Company grew its top and bottom line growth in the first quarter of fiscal 2023, with net sales up 5.9% to $2.35 billion and net income at $116.3 million. I'm Margaret Notchek with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report is sponsored by the Froedtert Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
Breakthroughs aren't just for medical journals. They're to help people hold their grandbabies for the first time. Expertise isn't just for awards or recognition. It can be what gives people the best chance to walk again. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, people are the driving force behind everything we do. So we never lose sight of what's important. And we never forget who it's for. Because in the end, we're people helping people. That means every breakthrough, every clinical study, every interaction is to help people like you, your family, and your neighbors be the best they can be. We do everything humanly possible because we see everything humanly possible in you. To find out how compassion motivates world-class care, visit Froedtert.com.
Here's to soaking up surf culture on Wisconsin's fresh coast. Here's to beaches designed for people of all abilities. To sand between your toes and happiness in your heart. Here's to trading skylines for endless Wisconsin shorelines. And to ending each day with smiles all around. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
World-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Visit GetRoto.net for all your sewer and drain cleanup needs.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Looks like these guys are having a rocky start.
Swinging a broken bat liner that is going to be caught with a diving backhanded grab by Joey Weaver to end the inning.
Coverage of the Brewers in Colorado starts tonight at 7:05. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, Wisconsin Republicans unveil their cuts to Governor Evers' budget.
I'm Sandy Max. Days are numbered for a Marquette restaurant.
I'm Greg Matzek. Nothing like a little compromise.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got an accident now on 94 eastbound right at 68th Street on the right shoulder. So it's going to be a slow one heading through there. The westbound side slow right out of the Marquette interchange all the way through the stadium. Northbound 43 still dealing with this accident north of Port Washington Road. So we've got big delays coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to that scene. Southbound side of 43 slowing down from about Keefe all the way down into the Marquette as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Tonight, decreasing clouds and breezy, a low of 36. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 58. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, free school meals, paid family leave, and funding for American Family Field are among the hundreds of cuts Republicans in the Joint Finance Committee are making to Governor Evers' two-year state budget.
The GOP-led committee is removing more than 540 items from the proposal. Democratic State Senator Kelda Roys.
The actions today by the majority party are going to make Wisconsin less competitive, less attractive.
The GOP cuts should come as no surprise. Republican State Representative Mark Bourne.
When the solutions, apparently, from the Dems are more government, more spending, smoke more weed, yeah, our approaches are going to be different.
Debate on the budget is expected to last into June. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A Marquette University staple set to close its doors at the end of the semester. Sobelman's will be closing after more than 10 years on campus. A Marquette University spokesperson tells our news partners at TMJ4 News that the business owners have not renewed their lease. The restaurant has faced closure since last year due to struggles with finding staff, particularly servers. The other Sobelman's locations will remain open in Waukesha and the original on St. Paul Avenue.
Milwaukee police are still searching for those responsible for crashing a vehicle into a school bus on the northwest side. The incident yesterday happened outside Morse Middle School near 80th and Mill. TMJ4's Elaine Rojas Castillo.
Data shows that since 2020, there have been 74 reckless driving calls to MPD in the area immediately surrounding the school. And for some parents, they say the fear that something may happen is always at the top of their minds.
There's two schools right here and a nursing home right down the street. For somebody to not really care and to recklessly drive and hit another school bus and kids, that's just harmful.
Again, police are still searching for the driver responsible in this crash. So if you have any information that you think could help, you're asked to get in contact with Milwaukee police as soon as possible.
A 15-year-old boy who was hanging out that vehicle suffered life-threatening injuries.
A hospital cannot be forced to give deworming drug to a patient with COVID-19 under a ruling today by the state Supreme Court. The panel ruled 6-1 in favor of Aurora Healthcare. Alan Gall sued Aurora in 2021 when doctors refused to treat his uncle with ivermectin. The FDA has not approved the drug for use in treating COVID and warns it can be deadly.
The Packers show their quarterback a little love. Greg explains next in sports.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Traffic this afternoon sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
You know, when you think about it, Moms and Mr. Holland's Home Services have something in common. We both provide comfort. Of course, most moms don't know how to repair air conditioners, install water heaters, or hook up a whole house generator. But on the flip side, Mr. Holland's technicians aren't as good as moms at changing diapers, kissing boo-boos, gluing arms back onto action figures, reading bedtime stories, playing doctor, nurse, ambulance driver, and pharmacist, checking homework, juggling schedules, arranging sleepovers, getting grass stains out of a pair of pants, volunteering, refereeing, psychoanalyzing, uncluttering closets, unsticking zippers, building last-minute science projects, wiping spills, noses, and backsides, being at 2 soccer games at once, protecting, praying, providing, and loving. We don't know how you do it, but we do know that we couldn't do what we do without moms like you doing what you do. Happy Mother's Day from Mr. Holland's Home Services.
Old National Bank is asking businesses to get old. But first, they have questions.
Who runs my business if I get old?
You do. You can get old and remain young.
Is that possible?
With a commercial bank as good as Old National, yes.
What will it feel like to get old?
Well, business owners describe a feeling of euphoria, having local decision-making and committed relationship bankers.
Okay, one old guy coming up.
Introducing Old National Bank, where business relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone can call or text 988 or chat via 988wisconsin.org to get connected to a trained Lifeline counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you are concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Oh, welcome back. Tyrone Taylor, the Brewers outfielder, in the lineup for the first time tonight. He is off the injured list. He went on the injured list March 29th with the right elbow sprain. Brewers in Colorado to face the Rockies. Coverage gets underway at 7:05. And the Packers agreed to terms with 12 undrafted rookie free agents. Rookie minicamp begins at the end of the week.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports commentary on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Here's Greg Matzik.
If New York Giants general manager Joe Schoen could do it all over again, he would pick up the fifth-year option on the rookie contract of quarterback Daniel Jones. After 3 lackluster seasons with the Giants, Jones entered his 4th year as a starter with zero clarity on his future. After a breakout season leading the Giants to a postseason win, the Giants had no choice. They signed Jones to a 4-year, $160 million contract. The Packers avoided a Jones-like situation with Jordan Love. They chose not to pick up Love's 5th-year option, but devised a contract extension for similar money. Love gets a raise in 2023. The Packers receive some cap relief in 2024. Everyone wins, right? The ability to compromise also means the Packers will avoid a potential franchise tag situation and reluctantly offering a blockbuster deal based on the merits of a single season. The ability to compromise means Love will have less pressure on himself to perform with a largely unproven cast of skill position players. The move gives Love more security in 2023 and leaves the Packers with options after 2024. I'm still unclear if Packers GM Brian Gutekunst truly believes in Love. Heck, maybe he doesn't even know yet. But the ability to compromise appears to be a win for both parties.
Extra Points is sponsored by All Right Home and Remodeling. When you want it done right, call All Right.
I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling and current president of the Milwaukee chapter of NARI. For 3 generations, our family business has been about more than just our family. It's about the people who work for us and with us. It's about helping families improve their homes, which improves their lives. It's about honest work and fair pricing. It's also about paying it forward by giving back. Get started at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
When big national banks make a decision, it requires many emails, phone calls, and plenty of video conferences from around the globe. When we make a banking decision, we do it over a cup of coffee in our office. Finding a local bank that's passionate about the community and knows your name is hard to find these days.
Good morning, Diane. Welcome back.
The search is over.
Waterstone Bank, proud to be your local bank for over 100 years. Love your bank as much as we love this community. Waterstone Bank, Waukesha, Milwaukee, and Washington County.
Member FDIC.
Clean dishes, clean planet. Save $200 in eligible gift card rebates on eligible Becco dishwashers. Visit becco.com/US-EN for more details.
Grandview Homes will buy your home as is today. It doesn't matter what condition it's in. We'll give you a fair cash offer in 48 hours, and you have nothing to lose to try us out. With Grandview, you don't need to fix your home to sell it. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
A big anniversary diamond is one twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right. Hope your Tuesday's going great. We're doing good here. Sandy Max is here. Greg Matzik is here. Debbie Lazaga is here. And Adam Roberts is producing the show this afternoon. So my mortgage company sends me a letter in the mail, and they say they need proof of my homeowner's insurance. Long story short, here's what happened. My mortgage got sold to another company, which happens on a regular basis. It happens to almost everybody. Your mortgage gets sold to another company, so my homeowner's insurance got sent to the old mortgage company. So the new one calls up, no big deal. They say, hey, we need a copy of your homeowner's insurance. It's required as part of your mortgage. So I say, okay. Now I'm trying to think, all right, I'm going to have to make a copy and mail it to you. Do I need to email it to you? What do I need to do? And I'm kind of frustrated. And the lady said, her name's Deborah. Lady says, the lady named Deborah, who's with the mortgage company, says, I got an idea. I can get your insurance company on the phone right now. Is it American Family? I said, it is. She said, I got the information. She says, how about this? Right now, I just do a three-way with you. So I said, I've never had anyone offer me a three-way on the phone. I was trying to be funny.
That is funny.
I then said, I didn't know this was that kind of call, Deborah. I'm still waiting for her to laugh. So then I thought, okay, I was trying to be funny. I think I offended her. Maybe that was inappropriate. Then she goes, have anyone ever offered you a three-way not on the phone? And then she laughs. So now I'm thinking.
Now you pause.
Yep. Thinking, all right, I'm talking to the mortgage lady, and we're talking about three-ways. And she was just talking about getting my big, hairy insurance agent, Perry, on the other line.
Oh, jeez.
Different kind of three-way. Was that inappropriate? Does funny trump wrong? Was it okay for me to say to the nice lady, Deborah, well, no one's ever asked me for a three-way. I was just trying to be funny, and I think it was funny. But then I found myself questioning whether or not I should have said that. Thankfully, at the end, she also had a sense of humor and kind of came back at me a little bit.
You're lucky it was on the phone.
Wow.
Because eye contact, the social cues you could have been, I would say you probably should have erred on the side of, boy, wouldn't it be funny if I'd said this and didn't and just treated her professionally? But you got a gamer on the phone and she played and had fun. You know, customer service has got to be a drag sometimes.
Well,
She's trying to lighten the mood.
So you were effective in lightening the mood, but you danced on the edge.
Well,
it was not appropriate,
It sure
but it
breaks
turned
the
out well.
monotony of a normal day's worth of phone calls, I would imagine.
Right.
For better, for worse.
Now, she went home and she probably told the people at her dinner table that story.
That could be. And there
I mean,
might
day
be a
after day,
restraining
when
order.
she
I
goes
mean,
home and they ask her day after day, how did work go? She says, it went fine. I talked to 742 people on the phone today. It went fine.
And one of them
my
was
ear
funny.
hurts because of my headset.
Yeah.
Maybe today she went home and she said, this guy thought I was asking him for a three-way. Or maybe she doesn't tell that story at all at home because it's inappropriate. And she doesn't want her husband to be upset. What kind of place are you working?
I'm not sure how to answer this.
You got a big smile on your face.
Well,
I want to know what you're thinking because you have a big smile on your face.
Because you're my guy, and I support and defend John Mercure in every corner I possibly can. I don't know that I can do it on this one.
Be honest like Sandy was. Maybe that was a little over the line.
I don't think.
Yeah,
So-
it was not appropriate.
Now-
We could all agree it wasn't
Okay,
appropriate.
but is there a
did
difference?
it turn
Was
out
it
well?
was it inappropriate? Not appropriate, I think, is different from that was
Oh,
inappropriate.
It depends
Like
on
you're
what
splitting
is and not
hairs.
is. Yeah, hold on.
Deb,
now.
weigh in here.
I'm going to go with Sandy on this one, big guy. I'm sorry. It felt oogie. It felt oogie.
Now, here's the other part. All three of us in this room, and I can't speak for Deb in the other room, all three of us in this room for sure thought the same thing, and you just decided to say it.
Because when I was just telling you the story and I said, this woman said to me, I could do a three-way with you right now. Before you knew the end of the story, you had a big grin on your face and your eyes lit up like, that's funny.
And you want to
Well,
invoke
right,
the
there-
old
there-
Michael Scott from The Office. Yeah, that's what she said. And
There's-
she did say it.
She did. Well, I
There's-
guess I was lucky then because I got lucky that at the end, she also... Stop.
Good choice of
I got
You're
lucky.
12. You're
I got
12.
lucky
I
at the
didn't
end.
pick up on that.
I
yeah.
didn't either. That she smiled
Well
and
done.
laughed and made her own joke.
Yeah, and that's always the sense check, and also the risk you sort of run if you had this phone call by yourself. One of the things I learned during some training session at some point was if somebody else had walked by and was offended that you'd said that's still not appropriate. So you just should have left it out of a business transaction all the way together.
Okay. Well, I'm
But-
glad I'm getting the benefit of it on the text line. Every single texter says it was funny and it was fine.
It is funny. I don't know if that
One
was the
guy
question.
said it was funny. As a matter of fact, you should have used your inside voice.
Oh, jeez.
Are you asking me for a three-way?
Oh, that was your bedroom eyes and your
Yeah.
inside voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
think, don't we all watch comedians, TV shows? We
Yeah.
tell each other jokes that aren't dad jokes that are groaners, that are funny, but probably not appropriate, or you wouldn't tell your grandmother, like those
Yeah.
litmus test things
Yeah,
that
but
are
I am
what's
inappropriate
appropriate.
sometimes.
But
Yeah.
that's the expectation if you're at that show is that you may end up being
Yeah.
offended and you're at a comedian show.
Right.
This was not like the John Show. This
If
was
you're a lady
kind of like,
working for a
whoa, where
mortgage
did that
company,
come from?
you don't expect that.
Probably not.
like,
Probably not.
From the Old National Bank talking text line, 855-616-1620, Cherie in Hartford says, I'm a 56-year-old woman. I think it was funny. The rest of you need to lighten up. Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening. I didn't feel like I was being intense, but I
never
think if
said it
you're
was-
going to pause,
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate for you to pause and go, maybe I shouldn't have
Even
said
with
that.
all the feedback, I'm going to do the same thing again.
I never said it wasn't funny, that's for
Yeah.
sure. I just don't think I would have done it.
So did you
516
enjoy the
WTJ.
three-way?
It was good for me.
Where's Pe-
Very good.
Good. Hope it was for Perry.
I wonder if Perry liked it. All right, we'll be right back with some information on. I'm interested for you to weigh in on this. How many tabs do you have open on your computer on an average time that your computer's on? How many of those little tabs at the top? How many bookmarks do you have open? Think about that. Conversation surrounding that is straight ahead on WTMJ.
The voice of this call.
Swing a line drive. Deep center. And over the fence.
And this one.
Here's a throw home. Not in time. And the Brewers win it in 11 innings.
And of course, this one.
Christian Yelich, third deck. Holy smokes.
Chef Levering is on Brewers 360 every Wednesday morning at 7:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Hey, John Mercure here for Dave Drakamp Heating. It's that time of year we get a taste of warmth on some days. As a matter of fact, more is coming our direction. It's going to get hot pretty soon. Temperatures can climb pretty warm by the end of May. Make sure that your air conditioning is in the right place. Dave Drakamp Heating can take care of you big time. They've been doing that at our house for more than a decade. Now's the time to call Dave Drakamp Heating to schedule your preseason tune-up to be sure your home is ready for what lies ahead. Whether it's overdue maintenance or repair you forgot to take care of last year or the need for a total system overhaul, Dave Drakamp Heating, Lake Country's preferred Lennox Premier dealer, is here and ready to help. With healthy inventories, Lennox rebates, utility incentives, and possible tax credits now available, it's the time to check home comfort items off your spring to-do list. Go with the company that I trust. It's Dave Drakamp Heating. Call Dave Drakamp Heating today. You'll see why I can always trust them with my family's comfort. They're the real deal. Dave Drakamp Heating. DaveDrakamp.com.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow harvested from your body and then placed back into your body get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Traffic and weather. Hello, Debbie.
Hello, John. We've got on 94 eastbound, we still have this accident on the right shoulder on the ramp from 68th Street. So heads up with that. It's a very localized delay right through that area, though, so keep that in mind. Westbound side slow from about 25th Street through the stadium interchange. Once you get past Mitchell Boulevard, you should open right up. You're good all the way to the zoo. On northbound 43, that's been our trouble spot all morning, all afternoon. Just north of Port Washington Road, we got this accident here on the left shoulder, and that's basically backing up all the way back from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to the accident scene. Southbound on 43, a little bit heavy right through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds and breezy, a low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, a high of 58. Thursday, sunny, a high of 65. Friday, maybe a little rain, a high of 66. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 65 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, it's 50 degrees. There's a new survey out, not a survey, excuse me. There's a new study out that talks about leaving tabs open on your computer and how if you leave a bunch of tabs or bookmarks open, at the top on your little bar there, that it can lead to stress. It can lead to, it can lead to you having anxiety because there's too much going on. Bookmarking every article you swear you'll read later or keeping tabs open on sites you might need to access at some point takes a toll on your computer. And more importantly, I'm reading for the article, your mental health. A new study finds that 1 in 4 people feel stressed and overwhelmed when they have a cluttered computer when they look at it and there are too many tabs open. Throughout the day today, I knew we were doing this afternoon. I counted the tabs open on my computer 3 different times today, and on average, I have 11 tabs open at a time. 11 tabs open. So I have 3 emails open, my work, my personal, and my Stars and Stripes email from Honor Flight. I have my 2 fantasy football tabs open all the time. I have the stocks tab.
Even now?
Even now. I'm checking it throughout the day.
Fantasy football?
I'm sorry. I misspoke, Greg. Thank you.
Okay,
Baseball.
That's good clarification.
Baseball. 2 baseball tabs, but I'm always checking. Is that guy playing today? Is it raining in New York? Is that? I have a stocks tab open, financial tab, which I look at throughout the course of the day. And then I have, I don't know, like 3 or 4 other tabs open.
That
the articles
one
I was just
tab
reading.
right there is not good for your mental health.
The stocks tab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living
Yeah.
by
Sure.
every up and down, that's not good.
So I have 11 tabs open on average, and that's how my thing usually looks.
So
I
right
usually
now,
have
do
11.
you have 11 open right now?
Right now, I have 8.
Okay.
And here in the studio, I usually have less, but it's still 8. Yeah, I have 8.
I have 2 computer monitors up. I have 8 on this one, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open on this one.
Wow.
Well,
and
how
on
do you
2
keep-
computers.
How do you keep them straight?
Well, because I'll run through the talk and text line is up.
Yep.
And then email, the 2 of the articles that we were talking with Dr. Raymond about. And then I've got weather and the traffic map and another weather. So there's that. And then
Another weather.
yeah, so it's just I feel like a lot
2
of it
opinions
is,
on weather.
and then and then a couple of other working documents that I have about notes of things that we're going to talk about. So
Yeah.
I can scroll up and down on those. So I can justify. None of it is recreational.
Okay.
As I pick on John, none of it's fantasy baseball. It's not like I've got Duran Duran's webpage up, just
Well, not right
looking
now.
at them every time. Yeah.
But you
Okay.
could have.
I could.
Right?
Isn't that nice to know?
Twitter, email, Brewers game notes, and the web story that I'm writing after doing extra points. Those are the ones I have open right now.
With you, that doesn't surprise me because you are very tidy, organized, efficient. You, I bet, have the least amount of tabs open of literally anybody in the building. That's how you live your life.
In the building, that could be. I do have a few bookmarks that I keep, which allow me to quick access. So, I mean, I guess in a way that is tabs, but that's always there. I'm not opening them. I need them at certain times of the day, and that's about it. I go to it when I need it. But I am, to your point, John, when I see a desktop, like Emily asked me a couple of months ago, hey, could you find something on the desktop? I left a file. It's on my desktop. I created a folder. Could you email it to me at work? Well, sure. So I open up the computer, and I'm like, I couldn't even see the picture, like the screensaver.
Yeah, I used to
Like
work in IT, and I got that
my
all the
gosh,
time.
there
And I
was-
was like, head desk.
There were so many things open. I could just folders and files and just like that gave me anxiety just looking at it. Like I am a folder for everything kind of person.
Oh, I aspire to be. Deb, with your IT experience, a quick question. I don't want to get off track. Does it really slow down your computer if you have tabs?
It can, because every tab you have open, depending on how involved it is, it'll take away a little bit of the RAM, which is the active memory that the computer uses. I always think of the hard drive as like the gas tank. It pulls up information, puts it into the RAM, and then the processor uses the RAM to do all the processing and stuff like that. So it's easy access. The more stuff you have open, the more full the RAM is.
So see,
All right,
John,
let's,
you're stressing yourself out with your level of productivity.
I've got like 24 tabs open at least right now.
Yeah, so let's go to the text line. I'm at work. I currently have 1 window open with 7 tabs. Typically, I have 2 windows open with 2 to 7 tabs each. Let's get to another one here. I have tabs open on all my devices, personal and work computer and tablet. And in fact, on my phone, I have, after 99 tabs, it just shows a smiley face in place of the number. 99?
I'm impressed.
414, you win.
What?
I'm impressed.
You win.
Dustin and Beloit. As a teacher, I have at least 25 tabs open at all times, and I'm always stressed. But I don't think it's because of the tabs.
So it would take me longer to find within 25 tabs. It would probably take me longer to find what I'm looking for than just, type in the web address.
Yeah, agree.
You know what I mean? I feel like I could more quickly do that and get to where I need to go.
Because the tabs also get smaller if
They
you
do.
open more of
Yes.
them.
They do.
So
They
I
do.
feel like at 10, roughly, is where the tabs are big enough that I can tell where they are. If I go past that, they get so small that I can't tell what the tab is anymore.
Maybe I'm a nerd. I know what each of my tabs are, exactly what I need, where I need to grab it from, because all my traffic information is spread across all my screens right now. So
Yeah.
You're in, like mission control.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, I think I'm the queen of good intentions. This is, I want to go back to that article. I want to go back to that recipe. So I will leave those tabs up, thinking at some point
I'll
I'll
do
have
that
time
at
to go
home,
back
yeah.
and read them.
Mhm.
And then it gets to be the end of the day
Yeah.
and we're packing up and it's like, I'll read those articles when? It's like, then how do
Yeah.
I save those?
Yeah.
So if I just leave them on the tab, then maybe I'll read them tomorrow morning.
So if you want a little less stress, according to the experts, fewer tabs, fewer bookmarks, fewer stuff on your desktop, just clean it up.
What is one
Easier said
simple
than
way?
done.
Just a simple way.
Yep, simple way. 526 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything was in the red today. Stocks from banks are plunging. Investors are nervous about the Fed decision. The S&P 500 was off 48 points to close at 41.19. The Dow was down 367 to close at 33,684. The NASDAQ off 132 to close at 12,080. And the Russell 2000 down as well, down 37 points to close at 1732. It's time to calibrate your plan. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com. Click on the Get Started button today.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 12.5-ounce sauce or 16 to 20-ounce pasta, selected varieties, Rana pasta or pesto sauce, $6.49. 16.2 to 22.5-ounce package, Jose Olay taquitos or mini tacos, $4.99. 6 to 12-count box, Outshine fruit bars, $3.99. 10 to 12-count package or 10 to 12-ounce bag, Green Mountain or McCafe coffee, $7.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
Integrity. Your home's integrity depends on the roof, right? And the windows, and the doors, and of course on the siding. And when your home's integrity fails, you need the people who will not in that situation. That's Siding Unlimited. Been telling you about them for years. Father started the company, was a siding company. Sons Eric and Aaron Brown came along for the ride. In fact, they've taken over the company and expanded their line of services to all the things I mentioned earlier: roofing, doors, windows, siding, you name it. In fact, decking materials are right there in the wheelhouse of Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited. Want an outdoor kitchen? They are the ones to go to. New windows? It's Siding Unlimited. They also have a bevy of awards given their proficiency with the installation component. That's right, you can have the best products, but if you don't have the best installation of those products, you might be back to square one. Reliable, truthful, talented, trustworthy, great people at Siding Unlimited. In fact, I'm not just a spokesman, I am a repeat customer. They've done great work for us over the years. Find them online at sidingunlimited.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you, who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, death by 500 cuts.
I'm Sandy Max. Loneliness can be hazardous to your health.
I'm Greg Matzik. Welcome back, Tyrone.
I'm Debbie Lazica. That accident, 43 northbound Northport Road, finally gone. So those delays are going to slowly but surely work themselves out. Downtown to Brown Deer Road is still a 20-minute ride. That is an extra 9 onto your normal ride. We've got southbound on 41, actually looking pretty good, just past Capitol Drive where you're seeing those delays. Northbound on 894, southbound on 894 from just before Beloit Road all the way through the Hale interchange, you're going to see delays, and those stretch all the way to about 60th Street. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Decreasing clouds tonight, a low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 56. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Joint Finance Committee is holding its first votes on Governor Evers' two-year state budget. The GOP-led committee is removing 545 of the governor's items from the proposal. Republican State Representative Mark Bourne.
Rather than being pulled or pushed by an individual, we walk side by side with the people of Wisconsin when we craft a budget made for Wisconsin.
The items that were cut include legalization of marijuana, school meals, and paid family leave.
Social media companies would have to verify the age of users and get parental permission for children to open accounts under a bill currently being circulated in Madison. State Representative David Steffen is the bill's author.
These are parental controls. Think of them as settings just like you have on your phone or your TV that only the parent will have the ability to turn on or off.
Steffen tells WTMJ's Steve Scafidi that the bill also requires social media companies to turn off advertisements.
The U.S. Surgeon General says loneliness poses health risks as deadly as smoking a dozen cigarettes a day and is costing the healthy industry billions of dollars a year.
In Wisconsin, lawmakers are trying to curb this epidemic, at least for children, with a bill that would provide a curfew for their social media use.
I think the bill is really trying to regulate the parent-child relationship.
Dr. Megan Moreno, a chairperson for the UW-Madison School of Medicine, says another bill would be much more beneficial to improving adolescent mental health.
The Kids Online Safety Act, it holds the platforms accountable for things like looking at the algorithms that provide dangerous content.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
A restaurant on Marquette University's campus will close at the end of the semester. Sobelman's closes after more than 10 years at 16th and Wells. A Marquette University spokesperson tells our news partners at TMJ4 News that the business owners have not renewed their lease. The restaurant has faced closure since last year due to struggles with finding staff, especially servers. The other Sobelman's locations will remain open in Waukesha and the original on St. Paul Avenue.
Your favorite late-night shows will likely go dark tonight now that 11,000 union writers have walked off the job. CBS's Michelle Medina in Los Angeles explains why Writers Guild of America entertainment writers have gone on strike.
The major issue is compensation. The union says writers are making less money in the age of streaming, while companies like Amazon, Disney, Netflix, and our parent company Paramount are flourishing.
We're sort of at an existential crisis where we're creating all of this creative product that these companies are making billions of dollars off of, yet we're not getting paid a very, very small percentage of that.
Studios say their budgets are maxed out.
Writers are also concerned about the use of artificial intelligence in the writing of scripts. A long strike could push back the fall season.
The Packers hedge and the QB gets a raise. Greg Matzik explains next in sports.
News is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the Memorial Day sales event is on. Steer into summer and drive inspired in a new Mazda from Holiday, the destination to get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and enjoy more choices from their fast-expanding selection, including Mazda CX-5, CX-50, and the all-new first-ever Mazda CX-90. Choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way. You'll be in the caring hands of Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer, its #1 Mazda certified pre-owned dealer, and the Badger State's only recipient of the prestigious Mazda President's Club Award, recognizing exceptional guest care. Accolades are per Mazda North American Operations, Performance, and Zone Sales records for 2022. As a repeat fan of theirs, myself, I can confidently say you are in for a great buying and ownership experience when you drive Holiday. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Eric Smith here from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air, home of the AC Gurus. And I believe there are 3 areas where you just don't go cheap: tires, toilet paper, and tune-ups. I call them the 3 T's. As much driving around as our trucks do, we can't skimp on tires. We want to remain famous for being on time. Toilet paper, well, we don't have to get into that, but you feel me, right? 1 ply just won't cut it. Then there's tune-ups. If you expect your AC to start up and keep running strong all season, if you want to ensure your equipment lasts years longer, that calls for an ostentatious AC tune-up by a guru from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. That time spent with your AC, that 90 minutes to 2 solid hours, whoa, that's some quality time. And the results are guaranteed. Remember, you get what you pay for, and then some with Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We deliver the cold air with timeliness. Oh, that's 4 T's. Schedule your appointment online at teamaustin.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Brewers outfielder Tyrone Taylor is in the lineup for the first time tonight as the Brewers take on the Rockies in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Taylor off the injured list. He had been on the injured list since the end of March. Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 7:05. Aaron Rodgers continues to work out with the New York Jets in Week 1 of their offseason program.
Everything's new and exciting and fun. I'm just pinching myself a lot of days. I can't believe it's real sometimes. So it's been a dream. Definitely feel energized to be in the building.
Rodgers a guest in the Pat McAfee Show. Looks like he'll keep that arrangement going. And forget about the 5th-year option. The Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love agree to a contract extension. Love will be contractually tied to Green Bay through the 2024 season as he continues to grow as a player and leader.
It is hard to lead when you're not the guy, and he knows he's the guy now. So I think that instills confidence in him, and, I'm excited for him.
Pretty good compromise here, I think, overall. Love would have been guaranteed $20.3 million with that 5th-year option in 2024. The extension contains a little more money, up to $22.5 million in total. He's also going to get a pay increase for this year. That reduces some of the performance pressure overall. $13.5 million guaranteed coming to Love. He'll be locked up through the 2024 season. Takes a little bit of the pressure off of all sides here moving forward. So overall, looks like a pretty good compromise between the quarterback and the team.
Yeah. Seems like it buys the Packers time. He gets a little more money. It seems like well thought out. Good stuff. Thank you, Greg. 5:38 at WTMJ.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
No drafts. I don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Every highway, let me slip away on you. Every highway.
Let's talk weather on this Tuesday afternoon. Meteorologist Kristen Kershane is with us. We have big TVs in here. It looks like you've been outside. Where are you?
Ugh, I am outside in the wind. It is not a nice day out, by the way. I am in Cudahy at Sheridan Park. I'm on bird watch duty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a sighting of this tanager, which should not be in Wisconsin.
A
It's never been
flame-colored
sighted in
tanager.
Wisconsin. I guess it's like a yellowy kind of color.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of it, and then I've been out here just talking to everyone I can talk to. There's lots of bird watchers out
Have
here.
you seen the bird?
I haven't seen the bird, but
Ah.
someone right before we got here that I talked to said that they saw it. So it has been sighted here today. It's here.
It's just hiding from you.
It's hiding from me. It's hiding from everyone else too. Nobody else since that point has seen the bird. I think because it's windy, actually. Full disclosure, guys, I know nothing about birds or bird watching, but from what I'm told, that the bird's not going to be like up in the trees in the canopy because it's so windy. It's probably like kind of down low on the bluffs, which is making it hard to find.
Oh.
So you weren't one of
Okay,
the,
so there you go.
Yeah, I say so you weren't one of the people, Kristen, last January at South Shore Park, because remember we had the mandarin duck appear
Yeah.
randomly?
The duck. I'm not kidding you. A guy that I just talked to 5 minutes ago said that he was one of the people that we interviewed for the duck story. So the bird watching community, they are
Yeah.
out here and they want to see this tanager, which is really interesting.
This is serious. I mean, the birding
Yeah.
thing is a real thing.
Kristen, I want to see the sun.
I do too. Oh, I do too. And hey, tomorrow you're in luck because we're going to have some sunshine back. Yeah, probably not a full sunshine kind of day, but we'll at least have a partly cloudy day, which is going to be really nice compared to the last few days. It's been so gloomy.
Yeah, let's start with tonight then and lead us through what the next 5 days look like, please.
Okay, so chilly for us tonight, lows in the upper 30s. We will start to see some clearing, though, some sunshine on Wednesday. We'll start to have the lake breeze developing over the next few days, so just keep in mind if you're close to the lake, it will be cooler, but it looks like highs in the low 50s lakeside tomorrow, mid-50s inland. Thursday, partly cloudy, maybe a few showers late, mid-50s lakeside, mid-60s inland, okay, if you want to get away from the lake here. Friday, chance for a few showers, low 60s lakeside, likely hitting 70 inland. Then over the weekend, Saturday looks decent, highs in the 60s, some sunshine. Sunday, chance for showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms. So we'll be watching that over the next few days.
Hey, keep looking for that bird. You know, they
I
saw it
am.
in Texas, and then nobody's seen it until Wisconsin. So that
Isn't
means
that
if you're in
wild?
Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, Iowa, you're not a very good birder because nobody saw it.
Just skipped right over those places and wanted to come right here to beautiful southeast Wisconsin.
Exactly. All right, stay warm out there. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
It is 5:43 at WTMJ.
There are heroes among us who run toward danger rather than away from it. We call them first responders. This is Steve Scafidi. WTMJ is partnering with Educators Credit Union to honor police officers, firefighters, and countless others who work every day to protect our families and loved ones. Do you have a first responder you would like to nominate? Go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner, and share your story. We'll bring you the incredible stories during Salute to Service month in May.
Steve Scafidi's Salute to Service with Educators Credit Union. Details now at WTMJ.com.
John Mercure here for Colette Vacations. I'm taking a cool trip, and I'd love for you to come with us. I already got lots of listeners signed up for the trip. Won't you join us to New York City? It's a holiday trip, first week in December. This December, I'd love for you to go on this amazing itinerary. We'll see Central Park in Greenwich Village. We'll do the powerful 9/11 Memorial and Museum. We'll see the world-famous Rockefeller Christmas tree, walk to dinner and a show on Broadway, a Rockettes holiday show at historic Radio City Music Hall, and a ferry cruise of New York Harbor and the Statue of Liberty. It is jam-packed with lots of fun stuff. It's going to be festive. It's December, New York City, all decked out for the holidays. Send me an email, john.mercure@WTMJ.com, john.mercure@WTMJ.com. I'll get you the information. Holiday cheer, Christmas shopping. Come with us and other listeners to New York City this December. John.Mercure, MERCURE, and I'll send you the brochure. It's a beautiful brochure with all the detailed information. Just get me an email. I'll get you the brochure. Would love to have you with us this December in New York City. John.Mercure, MERCURE, @WTMJ.com.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Grandview buys homes. Hi, I'm Tom Delich, here to tell you Grandview will buy your home in any condition. Water damage, mold, cracks in the foundation, not a problem. Electrical issues, bad roof, peeling paint. We've seen and bought them all. Or maybe your home just hasn't been updated in 20 or 30 years. Grandview will buy your home too. Don't do a single repair. And best, take only the belongings you want and leave the rest to us. Sell your home as is today. Call the name you know and the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. All right, no more accidents up on the board. We just have a few delays. Southbound on the bypass from Beloit Road around the Hale Interchange to about Forest Home. Also, eastbound 94, a little heavy from about 76th Street through the Stadium Interchange. Westbound side's going to be slow around 27th Street, also through to about Mitchell Boulevard. And northbound 43, just some heavy pockets north of Fond du Lac Avenue, and then again right around Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 58. Thursday, sunny, a high of 65. Friday, slight chance for showers, a high of 66. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 65 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 50 degrees. Every Tuesday, we give away Brewers tickets on WTMJ, a 4-pack of tickets to the next Tuesday the Crew are in town. That happens to be May 9th. So we've got a 4-pack of tickets to the Brewers against the Dodgers on May 9th. That's going to be a good game. What number should we
Lucky
choose?
number 7.
All right. Caller number 7 to the Old National Bank talk and text line. You win a 4-pack of tickets, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. You win a 4-pack of tickets. Good luck. Earlier today, this was so fun. We were joined as we talked Coronation Countdown to King Charles's coronation on Saturday by Adam Von Gutken, the co-founder and CEO of Highclere Castle Gin. Because we're all about it on the afternoon show. We're pretty jazzed about Saturday. Tell us about the excitement right now. How would you describe the English mood as the coronation gets closer? You're attuned to everything that's happening over there.
Well, it's incredibly celebratory. London is absolutely stunning right now. The Union Jack is flowing over the streets, and parties are being planned, and all over the country, all over the Commonwealth, for that matter. And I'm very fortunate to be off myself to London from the States to enjoy the coronation concert at Windsor Palace in just a few short days. So I can't wait to see it with my own eyes.
Adam, how do you get an invitation like that, and how does it arrive?
Well, it was a very kind invitation, to be honest. So I'm very honored to serve on the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, which was really kind of started the brainchild of Her Majesty the Queen a few years ago, just shortly before she passed away. And it's really about honoring her legacy and her service through all the years by helping young leaders throughout the world and young entrepreneurs, which are two things that are also very important to me. I was a very young entrepreneur when I started my first business, and didn't have a very lot in the very beginning. So it was people and mentors and access to things like this that certainly helped things along. So yeah, very, very excited to serve on the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, and that's why I've been invited to attend.
Adam Von Gutken is with us. Is there any lingering sadness over the death of the Queen, or has the page been turned? I know this is going to be a big celebration, but does the Queen still factor in what will happen over the next few days and weekend?
Well, I think so. I mean, it was such a recent event for the world, and it's still kind of there. You know, she's left a bit of a hole because she's been with us on the global stage for so long, and was unwavering in her kind of kindness and her what she stood for. And I think that there's something to be said for that still being gone so recently. But I think His Majesty the King is going to fill those shoes incredibly well, and he's prepared for it his entire life, and he's ready, and he's got a good support system. and he's got obviously a great head on his shoulder. So I think it's really about celebrating new beginnings in the future, which is something we all need a bit right now. Is like the beauty of where we're all heading, you know.
And Adam, you're kind of 1 degree away from the throne. I happen to be well, because you work with Lord and Lady Carnarvon, who are the proprietors of Highclere Castle that everyone would recognize from Downton Abbey. But the weekend that I was in London was the weekend that the Queen passed away. And because Lord Carnarvon is the godson to the Queen, they were going to have a big theme